Oregon State trying to break this two-game skid where things have gone downhill in a hurry for a team that had big-time expectations coming into this season. Oregon State and Arizona just about set to kick it off. And we say, welcome inside. Joe Davis with Brady Quinn. Chris Budden joins us in a moment. So things have not gone well, obviously, for Arizona lately. But some good news coming into this one with the new Solomon, it seems like, ready to come back from concussion.
Yeah, and Anu Solomon will really give this offense a lift. He brings more of that dynamic in the passing game at the quarterback position as opposed to Gerard Randall, the backup, who's just a better rusher altogether. And Anu Solomon has not thrown an interception yet this season. 11 touchdowns, no picks, doing a great job of decision-making.
He started every game as a redshirt freshman last year. On the other side, Oregon State breaking in the true freshman quarterback in Seth Collins, who has flashed some pretty good things so far.
Yeah, Seth Collins, incredibly athletic and progressing each week as a passer. And he's going up against the defense in this 3-3-5 Arizona defense that struggled the past couple weeks, giving up yards and a ton of points.
Yeah, 111 of them the last 2 weeks, and their first two Pac-12 games ravaged by injuries. Oregon State trying to pick up the biggest win of the short Gary Anderson tenure. Opening kickoff from Tucson. The other side of this break.
What could be more rewarding than working on your car? Actually getting credit for it. With AutoZone Rewards, spend $20 5 times and get a $20 reward. It's called The Zone, and we'll help get you there. Sign up in-store or online. Alicia was on a mission to energize her car. AutoZone matched her with a tough Duralast battery. And Alicia felt more energized. It's called The Zone, and we'll help get you there.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that playing cards with Kenny Rogers gets old pretty fast?
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. What? You get it.
I get the gist, yeah.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hey, what are you doing? I got 17 months until I can upgrade to the new iPhone 6S. I'm building a time machine so I don't have to wait.
Oh, with Sprint, I never have to wait. I get to upgrade to the newest iPhone right away, whenever it comes out.
Seriously?
Seriously.
I've got to switch to Sprint.
What's that?
My lunch. It's just leftovers from tomorrow night.
The world's best offer on iPhone 6s. Get iPhone 6s as low as $1 a month when you trade in your iPhone 6. And with iPhone Forever, get a new iPhone every year, forever.
At DraftKings, we play for glory. And for this, the Giant Check. The Giant Check is no myth. It's our trophy and many hoisted playing our one-week games, like Dave Gomes and Adam Goulet. Are your dreams big enough to cash a Giant Check? Play free in our big event this Sunday. A new fantasy millionaire every week this season. Get to DraftKings.com now and play free with promo code HITCH. Welcome to the big time.
The kick by Cahoon is on the way and good! And the Beavers have defeated the Arizona Wildcats. Now he lets fly to Wheaton. Open, caught, touchdown Beavers! Mannion to throw, looks and fires at the goal line, reaching across. Did he get in? Yes, he did! Touchdown Beavers for the lead, Connor Hamlet!
FS1 College Football is presented by Geico. Back here in Tucson, ready to kick it off. Arizona and Oregon State in the series that lately has been dominated by the Beavers. They've won 12 of the last 14, including 6 in a row here in Tucson. You got to go back to 97 to find the last time Arizona got a win in this series here. Before we kick it, here's Chris Budden.
Thanks, Joe. New Solomon, as you guys said, is going to get this start today. He's been dealing with a concussion from 2 weeks ago. But Rich Rodriguez told us that he's been full go at practice all week since Tuesday. Now, he did say that it's not going to change any of his game plan or his play calling. They have, however, worked on his sliding. He slid feet first, and that's actually how he sustained the concussion. They've been working on actually having him slide head first. It is worth noting that if something were to happen to Solomon, his backup, Gerard Randall, who started last week, has been limited due to a hamstring injury. But, Joe, it will be a new Solomon getting the start running out here in just a few moments.
All right, Chris. this. Rich Rodriguez said earlier this week that every week is long during the season, but this week in particular, coming off his second consecutive blowout loss, one of the longest he can remember. Gary Anderson, 41-11 at his last 3+ seasons. Utah State, Wisconsin, Oregon State. Off we go from Tucson with Sean Brown back to return this kick. Thought about it, and then we'll take a knee. So Arizona will start at the 25-yard line. And Brady, time for you to tell us what to watch for.
Well, it starts with Anu Solomon. They're going to have more balance in their offense, 50% pass, 50% rush. And when they run the football, it's going to be on the shoulders of Nick Wilson. He's the most underrated running back in the country. He's a complete back. He's great running the football, catches the ball well out of the backfield, and he's good in blitz pickup.
When Solomon's been healthy, this has been one of the best offenses in the country.
Yeah, they've been very effective, and they should have some effect today versus Oregon State offense that struggled 2 weeks ago, or defense that struggled 2 weeks ago versus Stanford.
Both these teams coming off of losses against Stanford. Solomon starts looking short side with a back shoulder throw, and Caleb Jones has it knocked out with a coverage from Treston DeCoud, and it's 2nd down and 10.
A good ball by Anu Solomon, trying to hit that back shoulder fade to Caleb Jones. You can see he's been a good decision maker. No interceptions so far this season.
Facing pressure on 2nd down, and on time and on target, but incomplete. Off of the hands of Nate Phillips with a coverage from Anase Hungalau. So quickly 3rd down and 10 for Arizona on its opening possession. Against a 4-man rush, Solomon with time to hit a wide open crosser for a 1st down. Caleb Jones with his first reception of the day, and it goes for 15.
Yeah, Caleb Jones going to run a shallow route about 3 yards deep, and Anu Solomon was patient, waited for him to get across the formation, and was wide open.
Fake it off of the zone read, get it outside. There's Phillips, tripped up by Cyril Nolan Lewis, and a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
That's one of the differences between Anu Solomon and Gerard Randall, the backup quarterback who played pretty much the past 2 weeks. Is Solomon has the ability to not only run but also flip that ball outside and try to stretch this Oregon State defense out.
So part of the evolution of the read game of these spread offenses. He'll keep it here, and again outside to Phillips, who can't get away from Treston DeCoud. Dropping him near the line of scrimmage, and Arizona looks at another 3rd down. Converted 3rd down once on this drive, and with 8 in coverage, Solomon showing off the arm strength with a deep ball, and it's pulled in despite the coverage all over David Richards. Larry Scott was in coverage, but it didn't matter. 46 yards.
Well, Dave Richards is the other big-bodied wide receiver that...
Holding. Defense number 15. Penalty is declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
He's the other big-bodied wide receiver that Arizona likes to use on the outside, and in that case, did a nice job of shielding his body in between the defender and the football to make the catch.
And Arizona in a hurry back up to the line of scrimmage. With a 1st down and goal for the Wildcats on this first drive. But a timeout taken by Oregon State.
Timeout, Oregon State.
Let's go back to that long completion. Their second 3rd down conversion of this drive.
Well, Arizona came back to the same exact play before, but Anu Solomon did a nice job looking off the defense and eventually getting back to his one-on-one matchup with David Richards on Larry Scott. Larry Scott does a nice job of staying within phase, meaning staying right at the wide receiver's hip, but unfortunately he couldn't make a play on the football. It's almost similar to a touchdown that Larry Scott was in position for against Stanford. A very similar ball, but unfortunately wasn't able to make a play on the football, and the Stanford wide receiver was able to take it in for the score.
That was a game that was close over the first half a couple of weeks ago up in Corvallis. Stanford wound up pulling away 42-24, and then followed that up by beating Arizona last week 55-17. Red zone defense for Oregon State has been an issue this year. 1st down and goal for Arizona. Nick Wilson's first carry of the day takes it to the 3. And it's second down and goal.
Well, part of the reason why Oregon State defensively has struggled in the red zone is because they haven't been able to stop the run effectively in the red zone. They struggled against Stanford 2 weeks ago, and in particular in the red zone all year.
On second down, Solomon pulls, floats it back of the end zone and incomplete. He lofted it for Nate Phillips, but didn't have room to come down. It was pushed out of bounds by Devin Chappelle. It's third and goal.
You'd like to see Arizona come back with a similar play. Some sort of run-pass option that allows Anu Solomon to have options against this Oregon State defense.
Make an adjustment at the line, go downhill with Wilson. Haley grabbed a hold of him, but he took him for a ride into the end zone for an Arizona touchdown.
Well, we talked about the Oregon State defense struggling against the run. They've got 6 guys in the box to try to stop it. As you can see, the Arizona offensive line gets nice push from the line of scrimmage of Nick Wilson. A tough runner to be able to do the rest.
Already his 23rd career rushing touchdown and nearing 2,000 yards on his career now. And they're going to take a look at this. He reached that ball out dangerously, but might also be the only reason that he broke the plane.
Again, it has to be beyond a shadow of a doubt to have this call overturned. I don't know that there's any evidence there to see that Nick Wilson's knee was down before the ball was able to cross the plane. Pause it right there. There's his knee down. It's hard to tell with the offensive lineman in the way. Big Lenny Maiava, the right tackle, blocks the camera angle, but I think that's going to stand.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Good call. And a good start for Arizona. This Oregon State defense graduated 9 starters from last year, but has put up solid numbers over the first month. That said, they've not seen an offense of this style.
No, they haven't. And really, they've only played one Pac-12 game. And that's the biggest difference. But what led them there? The Dave Richards big catch downfield. And credit Anu Solomon coming back in this game and having a huge impact in the Arizona Wildcats offense. And Nick Wilson running tough to be able to get the score and get the Wildcats ahead.
The moment's arrived. The best iPhone ever is here. And you're all like... And then you remember there's Verizon, which is great because if you're going to get the best iPhone, wouldn't you want to have the best network? Kind of makes you want to jump for joy. Tell all your friends and family. Even throw a party. Get up to $400 when you switch to Verizon and trade up to the iPhone 6s. And now you can upgrade to a new iPhone every year without the wait. So you'll always have the best iPhone on the best network.
With Pizza Hut's $6.99 any deal, I can get a meat lovers and they can get all the fresh vegetables they want. No more compromise.
Bring home the flavor with America's no compromise pizza deal. Get any 2 medium pizzas with any quality toppings, any crust, any specialty, just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
You drive with Uber to make money for the things you want and the things you need. For the places you want to be and the people you want to be with. Helping people get rides around your city is easy. Just tap and go. And only you decide when to call it a day. Start making money for the things that matter to you. Sign up now at uber.com/drive now.
the new Nissan Maxima, the four-door sports car that's raw, refined, and all you. Now lease the new Nissan Maxima for $299 a month. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Rated T for teen. We created the Master Chief, so we're responsible when we can't control him. Spartan Locke, your mission is go.
Let's hunt him down.
Get the Xbox One Limited Edition bundle.
Almost all of Arizona's yards on that opening drive came on third down. They converted all 3 third downs that they had, including Wilson's touchdown run.
Yeah, and you can see, Anu Solomon, a great start. He really had 2 drops on that drive. He was 4 for 7 for 68 yards. Only really 1 true incompletion.
Casey Skowron sends it away. A couple of new returners back there for Oregon State, including Datron Guyton, who comes out from a tough angle. And Guyton with some shiftiness to take it across the 30. That ball might have gotten ripped out of there. I think Arizona's kicker, Casey Skowron, ripped the ball away. And Arizona's got it. But your defense has gone 2 weeks without forcing a turnover. So lead it to your kicker to use brute strength to take it.
The ruling on the field is the runner lost possession gained by Arizona. That's a first down.
Look for number 41, Skowron, and right here, he's going to get a hand on the football and rips it out. You know who lifts the day before the game? The kickers. They always try to put in those extra curls and tricep extensions to have a little bit of a gun show.
Yeah.
But in this case, it came in hand.
No pun intended.
The ruling of the runner losing possession gained by Arizona is under further review.
One of the issues for Arizona the last 2 weeks in those losses has been that they didn't force any turnovers. If this call holds up, they'll have one here on special teams.
It appears that his knee was not down before Skowron got the ball loose. And pause right there. He starts to lose possession. You can see Skowron, the ball's already out at that point. If you can reverse it back. And then once Skowron gets the ball, he doesn't really know what to do with it. He just tries to get down at that point.
He ripped it out and thought, oh man, I'm a sitting duck now, standing here with a ball in my hands. Steven Strimling is our head referee today. Do they see enough to overturn it? They got to have indisputable video evidence.
This should be a good view. Watch his right knee, it's down. Ooh, I don't know. They obviously called it a fumble, but it appears Guyton's knee's down right there. He still has his hand around the football. That might be enough for them to overturn this.
Is that beyond a shadow of a doubt?
After review, it's been determined that the runner had firm control of the ball with a knee on the ground. He is down by rule. It will be first down Oregon State at the 32-yard line.
That was interesting. I don't know about firm control.
No,
at one point, it looked like he still maintained control. As we watch Skowron trying to draw the ball loose, and if you pause it right there, his knee's down. He had a hand on the football. Right here, knee down, hand still on the football. I don't know if that's...
Maybe an extra set of those bicep curls you're talking about next week. He would have had it out in time. Big break for Oregon State early on in this game. Victor Bolden coming in motion. They fake it to him on the jet sweep. And Collins lofting one for Villabin, who makes the adjustment, and it's incomplete. Nearly brought it in with the coverage from Ala, and it's 2nd and 10.
Well, Jordan Villabin's going to be the #1 wide receiver for Oregon State. When Seth Collins drops back to pass, that's who he's looking for. And here's why. He's 6'5", 220 pounds, and he's a burner once he gets going downfield.
Tough catch, but one that I think he often makes. Guy's a real deal out of Fontana, California. 2nd down and 10. Storm bars Woods with his first carry. Oregon State really wants to get that ground game going today. They only got about 2.5 there. And look at a 3rd down and long to start.
Yeah, they'd like to get that ground game going on 1st and 2nd down to help take some of the pressure off of the true freshman, Seth Collins. Now you put him in a passing situation. It's not necessarily his forte, but he's progressing. He's got better every single week. For Villeman here, excuse me, at the top of the screen up.
Collins looking in his direction, threw it behind him on the slant. Tremendous catch, but a yard short of the sticks. And it's 4th down and 1. Jarvis McCall Jr., their biggest corner. They lack size at that spot, but McCall Jr. was in coverage.
Well, and McCall actually is the only cornerback for Arizona that doesn't lack in size. Right. He's 6'2", 182 pounds. He's a good matchup versus Jordan Villeman. So we'll see if that continues for the rest of today.
So they took that shot on 1st down and found themselves behind the sticks on this first possession. And the punt team is out there. Korebsky's punt. Angling to the 20, taking an Arizona bounce. And the Wildcats with a 7-0 lead have the ball again from the 26-yard line. Nick Wilson, who is nearing 2,000 yards in his young career already has a touchdown today. Back to the field when you come back.
Richie Land, talent manager. How y'all doing, guys?
Critics are rocking out with Bill Murray in Rock the Casbah.
He's an animal, but still really a cool guy.
It's outrageously entertaining.
Well, you're kind to say that.
This is the Bill Murray you love.
God, you are really crazy about me, aren't you?
The cast is comedy gold.
You're a piece of work. Thank you.
Rock the Casbah.
Assalamu alaikum. Back at you, babe.
Rated R.
Let's go, Dr. Bubby. So what's the best tradition in college football? Take a guess. Anybody? Anybody? I'll give you a hint. It's the playoff. It's only the 2nd year. It's shiny and new like a little baby that I invented.
Oh, you invented it?
Yeah, I did.
All right.
Did you watch last year? 3rd string QB took home the trophy. 3rd string, that's you guys. You don't know what's going to happen in that playoff. I can't wait.
Aren't you supposed to be working or something?
Yeah, I am. Let's go, Dr. Bubby. That look regulation to you? I think it needs more air.
You drop 40 grand on a new set of wheels, then wham, a minivan T-bones you. Guess what? Your insurance company will only give you $37,000 to replace it. Depreciation, they claim. How can my car depreciate before its first oil change, you ask? Maybe the better question is, why do you have that insurance company?
With Liberty Mutual New Car Replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Woke up L8, freaked, then remembered McD's All Day Be Fast. Hashtag boom shakalaka laka.
At McDonald's, yes. Hashtag all day breakfast, so good.
Yo, McDonald's serving breakfast all day now? 5 gold hand emojis. Hashtag Bay.
At Cows Go Mookie, post show.
Here at McDonald's, thank you for serving all day breakfast. Heart emoji, everyone on earth. Retweet. Favorite your retweet.
It's time for hashtag all day breakfast. Smiley tongue face emoji.
Inside the beautiful Arizona locker room, where they've got their all these different uniforms. Here's some sharp ones here with the red on the blue.
Very patriotic.
Look, Kalani Sitake in his first year as a defensive coordinator at Oregon State, coming over from Utah.
Yeah, and he's tried to keep somewhat of a simplified scheme in this being their first year and only having 2 returning starters on defense.
Gave up a touchdown on their first drive. The second possession begins with a run outside and a solid first down pickup for Wilson. Stop made by Failonga. First down and 10.
And credit the Arizona offensive line. Watch the left side. Be able to get the edge, something that Oregon State has struggled with, in particular versus Stanford 2 weeks ago. Allow Nick Wilson to get outside.
Solomon to throw on first down. Good feel in the pocket, but can't get away. It was Failonga that got there first. Levante Barnett as well. And second down and 13.
And credit Oregon State being able to get pressure on Anu Solomon. They've struggled a bit this year getting pressure on quarterbacks, only having 5 sacks coming into the game.
Part of that, like you talked about, though, he's not been real aggressive. Outside they go, and with speed, it's Tyrell Johnson, his first touch this season. There's a flag down as Larry Scott makes the tackle. This is the fastest guy on the roster playing his first game after dealing with a foot injury.
His foot looks just fine there.
Yeah.
Personal foul, chop block. Numbers 28 and 78 of the offense. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay second down.
Number 78, Jacob Alsadek and Nick Wilson. Watch right here. Wilson's going to come and go low. Jacob goes high. That's a no-no. That's one of the rules that's been implemented for player safety.
So instead of a second down, it's short at 2nd and 20. They try to get a chunk back with Wilson. They get 18 and set up a 3rd down. No, the ball came out. Ball came out before he was headed down, and then Romo Mangueo recovered it. And Oregon State with a takeaway near midfield.
Well, this is the zone read scheme that Arizona loves to run. Nick Wilson usually pretty solid with the football. Basalo able to rip the football out, but that's going to be close, and I'm sure they're going to review this, as Nick Wilson is on the field injured.
We're going to take a break as they look at Wilson, and we'll certainly take a look at this turnover, see if the knee was down or not.
A little mystery can go a long way. I suggest you have it lead back to your place. Stay thirsty, my friends.
The Rangers are in a great spot. This is where it gets fun.
Ever since I was a little girl, my dream was to become a jockey. There were always obstacles, and I was constantly the new one in the jocks room. I was always having to prove myself. The great news is, trainers took notice, and they started giving me chances. I started winning, and it just snowballed. It just felt so good.
Introducing BetAmerica.com, your new home for legal online wagering.
It's time to play the Bet America way.
At Southern New Hampshire University, we traveled across the country to personally deliver diplomas to online students who couldn't attend graduation.
We want to present you with your Bachelor's of Arts degree.
Because we believe student success is success worth celebrating. Southern New Hampshire University, committed to your success from day one to graduation and beyond. Find your program today and see yourself succeed at snhu.edu.
Are you one of over 26 million Americans with a tax problem? Are you being audited, or do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Well, listen closely, because the IRS has recently announced major changes to its tax forgiveness program. That's right. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes and are looking for a permanent solution and a firm you can trust, call Coast One Financial Group right now for your free confidential consultation. What are you waiting for? Call 800-334-1197. That's 800-334-1197.
Night on Fox. The electrifying offense of second-ranked TCU is the most feared in all the land. Heisman contender Trevon Boykin leads the charge against the Wildcats. TCU, K-State, tonight at 7 on Fox. Telecast sponsored by Geico.
Call on the field is that Caleb Salo ripped it out, was recovered by Romo Mangueo, but it is under review. And it's close, a lot like on the special teams play a moment ago that was overturned.
And I guess the key in this place is seeing when the knee is down and if Wilson still had firm possession of the football. Knee down, ball appears to still be in Wilson's possession. Salo did a nice job recovering back to rip out the football. He's one of the playmakers along with Romo Mangueo, number 8 at the linebacker position for Oregon State.
Isn't it amazing how similar of a thing this is to the kick return?
Look at Anu Solomon getting there for the tackle. Tracking downfield.
After review, it's been determined that the runner was in possession of the ball with a knee on the ground. The ball will be spotted at the 47-yard line. It will be 3rd down and 2 yards to go on the far hash mark.
And now the concern is whether or not Wilson's able to come back into the game. In particular, in a situation like 3rd and 2, this would be the time where you'd want to give him the football. Hit hard as he goes to the ground. Immediately appears as if he's in pain.
The training staff has been surrounding him since. And so he's got to go out, and Jared Baker comes in. Wilson, the bigger of the two backs, and like you said, ideal for this situation. So they'll play without him on 3rd down and 2 with our second overturn call of this first quarter. It is Baker, and he didn't get it. Joshua James, the only returning starter in the front 7 for Oregon State, got to him first. It's a short gain, and it's 4th down. Here comes the punt team.
Yeah, Joshua James and number 8, Rommel Monyeyo, able to get in there on the tackle. And that's the difference when you have a running back like Jared Baker versus Nick Wilson. It seemed like there was a bit of a hole more on the right side of the offensive line in that zone read. Baker didn't see it, tried to keep it front side, and James and Monyeyo were there to make the tackle.
Ramel Dockery back to return the punt from Drew Riggleman. One of the best in the conference, 2-time all Pac-12. High spiraling kick. Textbook punt that bounces into the end zone. So close to textbook if you had angled it a little bit more to the right. And so a touchback. Oregon State back in the field on offense. Give us what we're watching for today.
Well, you've already seen it today. Seth Collins, very mobile quarterback, but when he looks to throw the football, it's going to be going to number 13, Jordan Villeman. And he's going up against this 3-3-5 defense for Arizona that's gotten a lot of flack in the press here in Arizona and really giving up all those yards and points to Stanford and UCLA. But I think they stand a better chance today, and a leader like Will Parks will be a guy who wants to have a big impact on this team with all the injuries they've incurred this year.
First down, they roll Collins. This is where he's most comfortable, and there is a dose of vitamin V. Jordan Villeman with a reception and a gain of 6.
Well, he's the whole package at wide receiver. He's explosive. He has good hands. He's smart. The biggest thing is he knows how to get open. He uses his body well, which sometimes you don't always see out of those bigger, taller framed wide receivers.
His favorite guy to watch. Guy models himself after Kelvin Johnson. It's a good model.
Not a shocker there.
They love this. Bolden in motion. Collins straight ahead. And a first down. He is the leading rusher for this team. One of the top running quarterbacks in the country.
Yeah, and you see some of the burst that he has right there. And what helps that out is having a guy like number 6, Victor Bolden, who also has a ton of speed that they like to give the ball to him, that jet sweep. In the last play, they faked it, and that opens up a hole for Seth Collins.
They go empty on first down from the 34. Collins gets it outside, but it's thrown too high for Hunter Jarman. 2nd and 10. He's a really good runner, still improving as a passer.
And talking with Dave Baldwin, the offensive coordinator, he said, you know, he's gotten better every week, but we're not trying to put too much on his plate, but at the same time, we can't limit him too much, otherwise that's no way to win a football game. So having a bye week, they're hoping to work on some fundamental things, in particular his footwork, which they thought was a bit sloppy and caused some of his missed throws.
At a career-high 275 in the loss against Stanford 2 weeks ago. Hands this one off in the jet sweep to Paul Lucas, true freshman from not too far from here in Phoenix, with his first career touch into the arms of Jamar Allah. And 3rd down and 4.5 coming up.
Yeah, and credit number 7, Jamar Allah. He had missed some tackles the previous 2 weeks versus Stanford and UCLA. And then he's that back in line of defense, but did a nice job coming up to make the tackle and playing more aggressive.
Well, who didn't miss tackles for him the last 2 weeks?
That's a good point.
On 3rd and 4, Collins rolling under pressure. And will shovel it out of bounds Arizona's defense forcing back-to-back punts on the first 2 drives.
Yeah, weak side linebacker number 32, DeAndre Miller here on your screen. He's going to be able to get pressure on Seth Collins as he tries to get outside the pocket. Miller playing with a cast on his left hand. A little bit injured this season, but has done a nice job of getting after the passer whenever he's been in the game.
They've had 8 different starters at linebacker because of those injuries. Punting comes out. Rebsky's first one was only 32 yards. This one a line drive. It takes a favorable bounce inside the 10. So 32 yards on the first one, 54 on this one for Porebsky. Arizona's offense back to the field with a 7-0 lead when you come back.
You're acting so funny. What's wrong, Billy?
My doctor says I have Skittles pox.
Are they contagious?
I don't think so.
Contract the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Get the right price right now on the seasonal items you need with new trophy deals only at Bass Pro Shops. Like Redhead men's and ladies' Talus 2 waterproof boots for under $40. And save 50% on a Redhead Silent Hide insulated jacket.
Oh, buddy.
Horsepower can always make your day. The all-new Nissan Maxima. Now lease the new Nissan Maxima for $299 a month.
Hey, Doug, how'd that discount double check work out for you?
Oh, that was great. Good. I wish I had double checked before discussing that play earlier.
Did anybody catch that play?
No.
Okay, we're going to act like we're debating about it. You two do the bouncy football thing. You rub your head like it's a real tough call. No, that looks like you're having a migraine. I'm going to break the huddle confidently, and we're going to call it incomplete.
Mike's on!
First down! Thank you! 70,000 people were there.
20 million more watching at home.
Got it!
Save big with State Farm.
It's a presidential campaign in South America.
How far are you behind?
28 points.
We want to show people the warm, likable Castillo.
It's going to be a good one.
If you should feel an emotion, could you just turn towards the camera?
Ramos, this animal would lead us to prosperity.
Oh, he killed himself rather than be in one of our commercials. This is politics. There's only one wrong, and that is losing.
A Grandest Crisis. Rated R. October 30th.
FS1 college football is presented by Geico. Nick Wilson had that touchdown, then left the game. Chris Budden, you've got an update.
Yeah, he definitely injured the right shoulder arm area. He met with the team doctors. He's going to stay out here on the sidelines. He tried taking a football and tucking it under that right arm. You can tell he's in some pain, but he's not going to the locker room, has his helmet in his hand. He looks like he's staying out here.
And he's really the player that you'd like to work the ball to. Being on the -5, as they call it, backed up almost near your own end zone. You saw the second fastest 2,000 in Arizona history. He makes a lot of his yards on first down.
Instead, they go into an empty set, and Solomon throws the out pattern nowhere close to Samaje Grant. 2nd down and 10.
And you wonder if there was going to be a little rust for Anu Solomon. He was able to practice all this week, but it's always tough anytime you get out of a rhythm with an injury, then getting back into the fold.
Suffered that concussion on this field 2 weeks ago against UCLA. Missed the Stanford game. Takes a high snap, hands it off to Jared Baker. And Baker turns on the afterburners. Tripped up at the 20 by Scott. 76 yards and an Arizona first down.
And that's what we're talking about. The running game when you're backed up is your best friend. And Jared Baker's got that spark. He's the fastest of the running backs that Arizona has in their backfield. And you're able to see a little bit of that speed.
They bring Orlando Bradford in now, giving Baker a breather. And here is Bradford, the true freshman. They want to get more involved in this offense, and a good opportunity for him to get more involved for the injury for Wilson.
Look at that big one. Watch the interior offensive line for Arizona create this hole. And Baker just sees it and hits it right up inside. In between Zach Lamia, Freddie Tagaloa.
Solomon pressured. Dumps it off, but too high. Boy, he had Josh Kern wide open, but floated it over his head, and it's 3rd and 6.
A little bit of miscommunication between Solomon and Kern. It's sometimes tough when you're out there scrambling around to be on the same page. It's really becomes a new play once the first play breaks down. Good idea by Solomon. Kern just has to get used to being more of a pass catcher. Only has 4 receptions this season.
Former quarterback himself. 3rd down and 6. They go empty again. Only a 3-man rush. Solomon throws the screen, and it's read perfectly. Then flip back to Solomon. Oh, Caleb Jones, you got to be kidding me. Looked like a video game glitch.
I can only imagine what Rich Rod is thinking right now. That can't be how he drew it up. Solomon fakes to the right, comes back to Caleb Jones on the quick screen, and he sees Solomon standing there, so he flips it back to him. Nice job by the Oregon State defense, not over pursuing and staying at home to make the tackle.
Wow. Seen some funky things in this game already. Skowron from 37 yards. He's got it. His 2nd season handling the kicking duties for this squad. Knocks that one through and gives Arizona a 10-0 lead in a drive that began inside its own 10.
You drop 40 grand on a new set of wheels, and wham, a minivan T-bones you. Guess what? Your insurance company will only give you $37,000 to replace it. Depreciation, they claim. How can my car depreciate before its first oil change, you ask? Maybe the better question is, why do you have that insurance company?
With Liberty Mutual New Car Replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Arizona's trying to rebound from back-to-back blowout losses to get its first Pac-12 win. They've got a 10-0 lead on visiting Oregon State, which, believe it or not, has won 6 in a row in Tucson. 1997 was the last time Arizona beat Oregon State in this stadium. Chris Brown, dangerous return man, waits back on this Skowron kickoff. Instead, it's Guyton, who nearly had the ball ripped out by the kicker the last time, and this time gets drilled shy of the 15. But our Nissan Heisman watch before Oregon State's offense comes out.
Yeah, to me, it's really a 2-man race at this point. It's Leonard Fournette, the running back down at LSU, has been sensational this year, putting up just historic numbers, and Trevon Boykin. Nick Chubb also was on the same pace, but actually was injured today at Tennessee. Deshaun Watson, as Clemson continues to progress, is in the mold, and Ezekiel Elliott continuing to bring Ohio State back from these close games. It was close at half versus Maryland, but Ezekiel Elliott, in the end, able to get that ground game going. Ohio State pulls away in the second half.
Trouble with Maryland, who's been just awful so far this year. This drive starts at the 15, and Ryan Nall, converted tight end, goes straight ahead. Yeah, gets a short gain. DeAndre Miller with a tackle, 2nd and 7.
And number 34, Ryan Nall's Oregon State's power back. They like to bring him in to have that downhill running game. Usually have a couple tight ends along with him. Number 83, Kellen Klute. Number 80, Brent Vanderveen. He'll pave the way. They saw Stanford have success with that. They'll look to do the same today.
Nall again, 255-pounder. Comes downhill and gets him within a couple of yards of the first down marker. 2 units trying to find their way in the early season. Oregon State in the first year with Dave Baldwin as the offensive coordinator. Arizona's defense, we mentioned it, dealing with the injuries without their star Scooby Wright. 3rd down and 3. It's Nall again. And a couple of blocks were shed. Paul McGlure, who's moved from safety to linebacker this week, came up and made the stop, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, McGlure doing a nice job filling in at that linebacker position where Arizona has just been snake bitten. McGlure's going to come off the edge. Bit of a stop Nall before he's able to get going. This Arizona defense has really had to be flexible and moving some guys around and trying to fill in for some holes. There's so many injuries to the linebacking position, in particular Scooby Wright, their all-American, all-everything linebacker.
Borevsky sends this one away with a fair catch, called back at the 30. Grant. Full day of college football sponsored by Geico continues tonight in primetime. Trevon Boykin and the second-ranked Horned Frogs trying to stay unbeaten. They take on K-State. Never an easy place to go play. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern, only on Fox.
Interesting matchup, though. TCU averages 51 points a game. Kansas State has only scored 39 once, and that was in overtime. So they're going to have to step up on the defensive side of the football or try to match TCU in scoring points, and that is no easy task.
No, that's the thing that everybody's having to deal with in the Pac-12 this year, as you see, or in the Big 12 this year. As you see Nick Wilson back in, but can you keep up with TCU? And an illegal substitution.
5-yard penalty, first down.
And so this drive will start 1st and 15 after that penalty. From the 25, they get Wilson involved right away. Oh, heck of an open field tackle by Devin Chappelle, who's playing his biggest role yet, kind of a nickelback as they now transition into the bulk of their Pac-12 schedule.
Yeah, Chappelle transferred from Western Oregon, was a walk-on, earned a scholarship this summer, and has really stepped up for this Oregon State defense at that so valuable nickelback position versus the spread.
This is the most spread-oriented team they're facing yet. As Solomon throws short, and Brandon Arnold makes the tackle on Nate Phillips. 3rd down and 10.
Going back to Devin Chappelle, you know, that nickelback position is so important because you have to be able to stop the run, but also coverage downfield, and he's been athletic enough to do both.
On 3rd down, Solomon well protected. Great field in the pocket. Throws it down the sideline to a wide open man. It's an Arizona 1st down. They went to Nick Wilson for 24 yards to move the chains.
And that's what this Arizona offense has been missing without Anu Solomon. Gerard Randall would have probably taken off, maybe would have gotten the 1st down, but with Anu Solomon, he works his feet in the pocket, he's able to escape, and then keeps his eyes downfield and finds Nick Wilson for the big gain.
Yeah, because Arizona is substituted, the officials make sure that Oregon State has time to match those substitutions. 3rd down, a big part of the story so far. Arizona's been really good in Oregon State territory. Here's Wilson bouncing off a contact and breaking into the secondary for another 1st down.
Brandon Arnold, number 3, and Ramon Manguayo both had an opportunity to make tackles around the line of scrimmage, but missed them. And this is really why defensive coordinator Kalani Sitake has wanted to try to simplify the defense. Focus on fundamentals. Allow these guys to try to play fast and tackle well.
Counts the numbers, sees room outside, and flips it out there to Samaje Grant. Been a starter all 3 seasons on campus, and has a nice 1st down gain.
Grant, who didn't play earlier this year versus UTSA and UCLA, they're happy to have him back. He adds that dimension in the slot where he's so tough to tackle in space.
Jared Baker's back in a running back. They fake to him. Solomon zips one behind Jones. There's a flag down on the far side of the field that came late. DeCoud was in coverage, but the flag came from the other side of the field.
You always wonder if it's going to be a lineman downfield in that particular case anytime you see a screen.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 12. Half the distance to the goal, automatic 1st down.
That's a killer. It was going to be 3rd down and a pretty good distance. Instead, Kendall Hill, the corner, called for the face mask away from the play.
Yeah, that usually doesn't happen very often. Kendall Hill was trying to do all he could to stop Arizona for some of these big plays on the outside. And he's got a tough matchup going against number 4, David Richards, who's already caught a ball downfield for a big gain that set up Arizona's 1st score.
First down from inside the 15. It's Baker. Got finished off by Bright Ugwebu, redshirt freshman linebacker. Failonga was in there as well. But it's 5 on first down. And second down coming up. Blitz is picked up. Solomon throws incomplete. Got hit from the blind side right as he let it go. Failonga was in there as well. He's off to a good start in this game. 3rd and 6. Oregon State's defense this season, #1 in the Pac-12 on 3rd down. And when they get you in 3rd down and any longer than about 2, they've gotten off the field almost perfectly. 2 for 35 opponents are on 3rd down and 3 or longer. Arizona so far today has been good on 3rd down. Solomon facing pressure. Textbook scramble drill. Keeps his eyes downfield. Back of the end zone. But incomplete. Great extension from Caleb Jones, but not in bounds.
The field as the receiver caught the ball out of bounds. 4th down.
This is a textbook escape by Anu Solomon. Adam Sosman's going to come off the edge, and Solomon just leaves him in the dust. Does a nice job of keeping his eyes downfield. And oh, so close.
Yeah.
Jones just have to work on getting that toe tap down. You only need 1 in college.
27-yarder coming from Skowron. And back-to-back possessions with the senior capping it with a field goal. Arizona's in front 13-0. Back in 30 seconds. Oregon State trying to get it going offensively.
Rated T for Teen. We created the Master Chief, so we're responsible when we can't control him. Spartan Locke, your mission is go.
Let's hunt him down.
Get the Xbox One Limited Edition bundle.
Arizona having to settle for field goals on the last 2 possessions. What have you thought of Anu Solomon so far in his first game back from the concussion?
It doesn't seem rusty at all. I mean, he's had a couple drop balls in his first drive, and I think some of the incompletions that he's had have been close for the most part. He's been a little bit off on a couple throws here and there, but that's the expected rust that you kind of expect to see from a guy who's missed almost 2 weeks.
Short kick. Here comes Guyton. And Arizona's coverage team has been tremendous today. That's been a bit of a weakness so far this year. But they've dominated in this phase. For the moment, let's bring in Chris Budden.
Joe, you may notice decals on both the Arizona and Oregon State helmets. They're honoring Umpqua Community College and the shooting there back on October 1st in Roseburg, Oregon. OSU was off last week, so this is the first chance for the Beavers to honor them. If you may remember, in that shooting, 4 people were killed, plus the gunman in that shooting.
Yeah, and another shooting in northern Arizona, another tragedy this week here in Arizona. Our thoughts with all the families affected. Oregon State with Seth Collins showing good burst, quick twitch through that hole and close to a first down.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that once he gets his legs moving, he gets somewhere in a hurry. He's got nice vision for a quarterback. Usually that doesn't come quite as natural, but Seth Collins was recruited as more of an athletic quarterback, and offensive coordinator Dave Baldwin convinced him that he could make him into a quarterback, and he's done a fine job so far.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted him to come play receiver or defensive back. Storm bars Woods. Good vision himself to get a first down. Up to the 25-yard line. With this first quarter clock winding down. I think Oregon State's got to feel okay about where it's at. I mean, Arizona had a couple of opportunities to get touchdowns where they had to settle for field goals, and in settling, it's only a 13-0 lead. Oregon State to get that offense going, trying to get their first win on the road in the Pac-12 under Gary Anderson and their first opportunity to do so. Arizona trying to break that two-game skid.
USA, Mexico. It's more than a game. It's personal. But tonight, there's a place in the FIFA Confederations Cup on the line.
So, you want to change the world? Oh, and there's one more thing.
The players, cheerleaders, the hooting and hollering, foot stomping, bands rocking. Every team has a tradition that inspires superior performance. And for the last 60 years, we're proud to be the one they all have in common.
I think we're going to have more heart. We're just going to come out with more gold. My family and my faith. Gold is freedom. It's freedom. More heart, more gold. That's a kid who needs to get knocked off the mountain.
Or a bunch of kids out there.
More heart. You have to be a little bit crazy.
I'm bringing back the dredge.
More gold. There can only be one king.
Gold Rush, a 2-hour season premiere, Friday at 9 on Discovery.
I'm a fan of things that go.
I'm a fan of things that shred.
When it comes to sandwiches,
I'm a fan of ciabatta bread.
I'm a fan of DQ Bakes.
3 new artisan-style sandwiches like the Chicken Bacon Ranch on ciabatta, hot out of our new ovens, only at your DQ.
Attention retired NFL players. You and your family could be due money. A federal judge approved a plan to compensate players and families of deceased players for those diagnosed with Alzheimer's, ALS, Parkinson's, dementia, depression, memory loss, mood swings, and other neurological diseases. Individual payouts could reach $5 million per player. Don't wait. Call to see if you qualify.
Call 1-800-535-0255. That's 1-800-535-0255.
FS1 College Football is presented by Geico. All Arizona in that first quarter, 13-0, and a much maligned defense that's given up so much in these back-to-back losses. Held Oregon State to 51 yards in the first.
And in particular on third down, Oregon State has not been able to convert. Credit the Arizona defense. Being able to kind of get their act together without having a bye week.
Oregon State hasn't played in 15 days. Last game against Stanford. Collins lofting one downfield for Villeman, but incomplete. It was defended by Cam Denson. Villeman's helmet came off. He'll have to come out for the second down play.
The helmet of number 13 has come off during play from Oregon State. He must remain out for one down. Please reset the play clock to 25 seconds.
Jordan Villeman was running a post route, and that was where Seth Collins went with the football, but he had number 6, Victor Bolden, wide open on a crossing route. That's what it takes. You know, you got a true freshman quarterback. He hasn't quite progressed to work through his progressions to find that number 3 wide receiver.
Couple of tight ends in the game here. Try to run behind it into the short side. Collins hurdling his way across the 25 for a pickup of 3.
Talk about athleticism. Watch the stutter step that Seth Collins uses to get outside. And then the leap over Jarvis McCall, number 29 for Arizona.
Who's 6'2". It's not like that's a little guy. Oregon State is 0 for 3 on third down so far today. Collins throwing outside, perfectly placed, and Villeman's got it for a first down.
And that's really what this Oregon State offense likes to do. They like to isolate Jordan Villeman one-on-one. He's going to run an out route, and Seth Collins is on time and on the money. Talked about that footwork that he wanted to work on this past week on their bye week, and he did a nice job of taking his 3-step drop, put his foot in the ground, put the ball outside.
First third down conversion for the Beavers today. Ryan Nall. Nice hop step for converted tight end.
Got some athleticism to him, but it's funny listening to Gary Anderson talk about watching that Stanford film versus Arizona. He said We saw some things that we think we can implement in our spread offense. They're obviously vastly different from Stanford, but look at the two tight end set. This is how they like to run some of their power running game out of shotgun.
Kellen Kloop, Brent Vanderveen, both in there at tight end. And their biggest running back in Neal. They fake it to him, and Collins throwing too high for Victor Bolden. And it's 3rd down and 4.
A tough window to throw into. Number 12, Demetrius Flanagan Fowles was breaking on Bolden. And now Seth Collins finds himself again having to convert on 3rd down to keep these drives alive. And that's, as a young quarterback, that's something that's the toughest thing to do. Everything's on you in the passing game to be able to work through your reads, make the right decision, hit your hot throws when they're there.
The exchange tight ends now take the blocking tight ends out, bring Noah Togiai in. Guy they like a lot, his receiving ability at that spot. Collins scans the field, it's tipped and picked. And would have gone the other way had he not fallen to the ground. Picked off by Flanagan Fowles. There is a flag down on the near side of the field.
And this might be pass interference on number 81, or excuse me, number 81, Noah Togiai, was actually the one being held.
To be a big call. Steven Strimling and this Pac-12 crew trying to sort it out.
There are 2 fouls on the play against the defense. Holding number 32. That penalty's declined. Personal foul, hands to the face, number 28. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. 1st down.
So they get Anthony Lopez, and that's now 2 turnovers for Oregon State today that have gotten reversed. First one because of a review, this one because of an Arizona penalty.
They wouldn't mind a little luck. Sometimes you need that. Keep some drives alive and create a spark for your team. And playing on the road right now for Oregon State, they don't mind having a little luck here and there.
They keep Ryan Nall in at running back. Rode him for an entire drive in that Stanford game. First carries of his career. Finished it off with his first career touchdown. And a heavy dose in this one. Jet sweep. Paul Lucas cut down by Will Parks, Arizona's leading tackler, but it's 2nd and 6.
Will Parks, such a versatile player, plays over the slot, plays safety at times, just a flat-out athlete. He can do everything that defensive coordinator Jeff Castile asks him to do. Said he wished he could replicate him and put him all across his secondary.
Got both those big tight ends in the game now on 2nd down. They fake the run. Outside they go to Bolden, who goes inside. Misread the block of Villeman and is chopped down a yard short of the 1st down.
Yeah, that's exactly what the defense wants you to do. They want you to cut back inside where a guy like number 32, DeAndre Miller, can fall back and make the play. Bolden's got to realize his best chance is to get outside up the sidelines, try to make a guy miss. His reinforcements coming.
He was their leading receiver last year. Slow start to this season. They're hoping for a breakout game from him soon. On 3rd down and 2, it's Nall. Hit in the hole. It'll be close. I think with his 2nd effort, he's got it. And he does for an Oregon State 1st down.
Yeah, and that's really what Ryan Nall brings to this Oregon State offense. A physical toughness. Was able to power through, keep his legs driving, and get those tough yards to get the 1st down.
So Oregon State, which in the first quarter was 0 for 3 on 3rd down, has converted 3 3rd downs on this drive. Of course, one of them thanks to a penalty. Collins over the middle. It's bobbled and caught by Vanderveen. First career reception for the converted quarterback. I think he might get credit for 2.
Yeah. A nice catch. Seth Collins locking in on Vanderveen. Vander being able to haul the football in. Dave Baldwin, the offensive coordinator for Oregon State, talked about Vander Veen and his transition. He's really pleased with the progress that he's made and his physicality that he brought to the tight end position.
Fresh set of downs. Collins makes the fake and explodes straight ahead into the end zone for the Oregon State touchdown. From 17 yards, a bolt of lightning through the heart of that Arizona defense.
And credit Josh Mitchell at center and the offensive line for Oregon State, but watch as Seth Collins fakes to Ryan Nall, then pause it. Look at this hole that's created, and Seth Collins just blazes right through the middle of the Arizona defense. Goodbye.
His 4th rushing touchdown of the season. The extra point from Garrett Owens. Out of the hole to the punter, Perebski hooks inside the upright, and Oregon State starts his second quarter with a touchdown drive. The true freshman out of San Diego. Nobody wanted him as a quarterback at the FBS level, except Oregon State. It was Collins that get him in the end zone for their first score of the day.
Take a look at these barbecue trophies. Best cracked pepper sauce. Most ribs eaten while calf roping.
Yep. Greatness deserves recognition. You got any trophies, cowboy?
Yeah, well, there's this one.
Best insurance mobile app.
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
Well, Alvin, does that thing just follow you around?
Like a little puppy.
The award-winning Geico app. Download it today.
It's not about hugging trees. It's not about being wasteful either. You just gotta find that balance. When taking care of yourself takes care of more than just yourself.
Lease an MKZ hybrid for $299 a month, only at your Lincoln dealer.
When a moment spontaneously turns romantic, why pause to take a pill? And why stop what you're doing to find a bathroom? Cialis for daily use is the only daily tablet approved to treat erectile dysfunction, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right. Plus, Cialis treats the frustrating urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use. Insurance coverage has expanded nationally, and you may now be covered. Contact your health plan for the latest information.
Huddle up with college football experts and live web chats all season long with a new guest every week. The Edward Jones College Football Huddle on FoxSports.com. Joe Davis, Brady Quinn, Chris Budden, Seth Collins into the end zone for Oregon State. I said going to break that no FBS team wanted him as a quarterback. No Power 5 team wanted him as a quarterback. He had originally committed to San Jose State to go play quarterback there, but his dream was to play in the Pac-12, play Power 5 football. And when the new staff came in at Oregon State, Gary Anderson took over. Offensive coordinator Dave Baldwin came in, gave him a call, got him on campus in a hurry. Big stick on that return. Tyrell Johnson takes it across the 20. And the ALDS returns to FS1 tomorrow at Game 3 between the Blue Jays and the Rangers. How about the Rangers taking 2 in Canada? The Blue Jays got to win out to survive. Coverage begins 7:30 Eastern, only on FS1. Speaking of baseball, Randy Johnson, the big unit, is in the house.
Could you imagine sitting next to him? He's like 6'10". He takes that down to space. Oof. I think that's his son there. 2 people to the right, sharing some popcorn and watching a good old football game.
It was, 14 years ago now. He and Kurt Schilling helped bring the World Series title here to Arizona. Wide open man, broken coverage. Johnny Jackson, the beneficiary. First down and goal, Arizona. 71 yards, taking advantage of the defensive miscue from the Beavers.
Well, number 30, Johnny Jackson, is the leading wide receiver for Arizona, which not a lot of people would have figured out coming in. The fifth-year senior was a former walk-on, was a defensive back, and then he turned to wide receiver with some of the different injuries that Arizona had over the course of camp. It's been really productive this year.
Wilson following his blockers, slipping out of a tackle for his second touchdown of the day. This one from 7 yards. Arizona answers right back.
Well, there it is. Number 28, Nick Wilson, so stout, so physical, just able to run through the arm tackles of the Oregon State defense. Talking to defensive coordinator Kalani Sitake, he said over the bye week, we were just focused on us. We were going to get back to the fundamentals, the technique of tackling, and try to improve.
And fundamentally broke coverage on the long play, and then fundamentally the missed tackle lets him in.
So far, not working out, but it starts with the big play to Johnny Jackson downfield. Able to haul it in and then set up the run by big Nick Wilson. Well, Arizona's glad he's back in this game, having such a big impact. Wildcats with the lead.
These wings are pretty great, huh?
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, it's a wing ring.
What's a wing ring?
I ask it what kind of wings I should have, and it tells me. Today it said honey barbecue.
I want to ask it a question.
Oh, you know what? I got like 2% battery on this thing.
Well, come on, let me just...
Yeah, I wish I could.
Your battery in a ring?
Yeah, it's like 8 gigs.
That's two different things. One is memory and one's battery life.
Cool. All I know is like, no, you can't use it.
Good luck choosing 100% all-white meat boneless chicken wings in 6 delicious flavors. They're buy one, get one free every Monday night. This is how you Sonic.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Larry Culpepper, member of the college football playoff. I know who you are.
This is Marcus Allen, football royalty.
Could you do me a favor and keep it down?
Yeah, and I apologize that I didn't come up with the playoff system that I invented when you were in college.
You invented it?
Yeah, I did.
All right.
I wanted to call it the Marcus Allen playoff, but they
now you got something.
They thought that would be too confusing.
Are you supposed to be working or something?
You know, if I had a nickel for every time someone said that to me.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper, yeah?
Hey, what are you doing? I got 17 months until I can upgrade to the new iPhone 6S. I'm building a time machine so I don't have to wait.
Oh, with Sprint, I never have to wait. I get to upgrade to the newest iPhone right away, whenever it comes out.
Seriously?
Seriously.
I've got to switch to Sprint.
What's that?
My lunch. It's just leftovers from tomorrow night.
The world's best offer on iPhone 6S. Get iPhone 6S as low as $1 a month when you trade in your iPhone 6. And with iPhone Forever, get a new iPhone every year, forever.
Well, this is the effectiveness of all-new Solomon. Watch number 17, Nolan Lewis, and number 26, Chappelle. As Solomon makes the fake and pushes the outside of the pocket, they completely drop Johnny Jackson because they're worried about the underneath coverage on the outside. And Jackson able to convert and help set up another Nick Wilson running touchdown.
Now Wilson getting his right ankle tape. Earlier it was right arm, shoulder. And Chris Budden reported. Ramel Dockery replacing Datron Guyton and taking a knee, something Guyton was not willing to do. Time now for a Lowe's game break. For the first time today, we say hello to Jenny Taft.
Joe, thanks. Number 13 and undefeated Northwestern visiting 18th ranked Michigan as Clayton Thorson is intercepted by Jordan Lewis, who runs it back 37 yards for the touchdown. The Wolverines up 28-0 at halftime. They've now outscored their last 3 opponents 87-0. Joe Brady, the Harbaugh effect seems pretty real.
Man, on the opening night, Utah really had their way with Michigan, but it's been all Michigan since.
Well, yeah, and even in this matchup, Michigan and Northwestern are the top 2 teams in the country defensively and not allowing teams to score points. So a bit surprising, Northwestern's given up 28 points right now to Michigan.
A lot of Ryan Nall so far for Oregon State. Low snap, picked up. Collins, stiff arms Miller. Read his block well and then got swallowed up for 3 yards, and it's 2nd and 7.
Talking with offensive coordinator Dave Baldwin before the game this week, he talked about Seth Collins sometimes trying to do too much, not giving the football enough in some of these zone read running plays. And in that case, I think Ryan Nall probably had a better chance of getting upfield and getting more yards than Collins did.
There's Dave Baldwin, who spent the last 3 years at Colorado State. 37 years total as a coach. It includes a long stint as the OC at Michigan State. Collins pulls again. Flag flies in as he goes crashing into Jarvis McCall. I'm not sure either one had the advantage there. But again, a flag down.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist, crackback, number 6. 15 yards from the end of the run, 2nd down.
Goes on Victor Bolden.
Victor Bolden just trying to help out his quarterback. Seth Collins gets to the outside. Tough to see there, but watch the hit at the end of the play. Jarvis McCall just laying a shoulder on Seth Collins.
And Bolden, a guy who has struggled to get going so far this year. Not done much so far today, and call for the penalty there, so 2nd down and long. Collins to throw, all kinds of time, floating into a tight window, and my goodness, a flag comes in on a thunderous hit from Will Parks on Jordan Villeman. And you wonder if it wasn't a hit that was just so violent that they threw the flag regardless of whether or not it was clean.
Well, one of the tough parts having a true freshman quarterback is he locks in on his reads. And in that case,
the ruling on the field is the contact was to the receiver's chest. There is no foul on the play. It is an incomplete pass. 3rd down.
And Joe, you're right. It was such a violent hit that I think it might have looked like hit him with a shoulder above Villeman's shoulders, but Seth Collins is locked in this entire time as Villeman's coming across the field. You can see Will Parks just basically waiting for him coming. Listen to this.
Oh. You know what? That hit is the effect of having targeting be a thing in college football. That is textbook on how to deliver a big hit.
You can't teach it any better than that. But again, if Collins just would have been able to not lock in and try to hold some of those defensive secondary players with his eyes, might have helped out Jordan Villeman.
And clean or not, you hate to see Jordan Villeman still down. They continue to work on him, and we'll be back.
As good as there is in the big leagues.
The Rangers are in a great spot. This is where it gets fun.
The sliding save! The diving catch. Out of here! What a play! Absolutely crushed! Oh, another! Unbelievable! What a night!
Only 2 weeks into the new membership. And you're already strong enough to spot the huge guy. A little goodness is the beginning of greatness. Whole nuts, real fruit, with dark chocolate. Introducing Goodness Knows.
The Gillette Mach 3 Turbo still feels better after 10 shaves than a disposable on its first. Mach 3 blades have twice the coatings for a closer shave with zero redness. Get an incredible experience. Shave after shave after shave.
Feel the fizz, the electricity.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
Esurance was born online, which means fewer costs, which saves money. Their customer experience is virtually paperless, which saves paper, which saves money. They have smart online tools, so you only pay for what's right for you, which saves money. They settle claims quickly, which saves time, which saves money. They drive an all-hybrid claims fleet, which saves gas, which saves money. They were born online and built to save money, which means when they save, you save, because that's how it should work in the modern world. Esurance, backed by Allstate. Click or call.
With Pizza Hut's $6.99 any deal, I can get a meat lovers and they can get all the fresh vegetables they want. No more compromise.
Bring home the flavor with America's no-compromise pizza deal. Get any 2 medium pizzas with any quality toppings, any crust, any specialty, just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
Black Angus beef and bacon.
So tense.
Fire roasted peppers and onions.
It's mixed. Let's settle this.
Should we tell him it's both? Eventually.
Introducing the Tex-Mex Bacon Thick Burger. Only at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
27, Arizona, and Jordan Villeman helped off of the field after that huge hit from Will Parks. And 3rd down and 20 for Oregon State. The dump off the screen, tipped and picked. The big man tipped it and caught it. 1st down and goal, Arizona. Still haven't gotten a read on who that is. It's Anthony Fotu, the JUCO transfer.
Who says those big boys up front don't have soft hands? Watch Fotu get his hands up, bat the ball, and then catch it himself. Almost able to take it in for the score as well. This is exactly what the Arizona defense needed. The ability to try to create turnovers, get their offense into plus field situations so they can capitalize off of them.
And the JUCO All-American in his first season at Arizona. Out of Oakland, California, picks off Collins. And has Arizona on the doorstep. 1st down and goal. Bradford untouched for his first career touchdown.
And how fast things can change in a heartbeat. Watch Bradford just come right up the middle of this Oregon State defense. Again, credit the offensive line. Getting bodies on everyone up front on the defensive line. They work their double teams to the 2nd level. Not allowing Mungeo, Salo, any of the linebackers for Oregon State to be able to get a hand on Bradford.
And he was so excited about the pick that he forgot that he's on the extra point team.
Wanted to take that play off.
That's big time.
Delay a game, kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
He's big time now.
If he makes it, all is forgiven.
Yeah. Oh, a snap goes over the head of the holder. And Skowron's had quite a bit of camera time today. At a moment on a kickoff, ripped one out of the returner's hands. It was initially, or it was eventually overturned. There is a flag down.
Offside defense number 14 in the neutral zone at the snap. Half the distance to the goal, replay the try.
Treston DeCoop came over the line of scrimmage when everybody snapped down into their 3-point stance.
So they get the ball right back almost to where it should have been in the first place.
We eventually got there. Skowron's extra point is good, and it's 27-7 Arizona. Plenty to feel good about. The tip and the pick for Fotu, and it set up the first career rushing touchdown for the true freshman Orlando Bradford.
Introducing the take-home box. A whole nother meal, just $1.99. Have your fill at the Endless Buffet, then fill up your take-home box for just $1.99 more. Golden Corral, the best buffet in the USA.
You're acting so funny. What's wrong, Billy?
My doctor says I have Skittles pox.
Are they contagious?
I don't think so.
Contract the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
We're looking for something a little less.
Maybe a little less expensive?
Absolutely.
Please.
We'll check out Yelp.
We did a great body shop. My wife just hit a deer.
He just froze.
It's cool. We know just the place.
I guess I need golf lessons?
Yes, you do.
That looks rad.
Whatever you need, whenever you need it. Check Yelp first. We know just the place.
Nothing artificial. Just real roasted turkey. Carved thick. That's the right way to make a good turkey sandwich. The right way to eat it is however you eat it. Panera. Food as it should be.
Hi, Tom. How's the college visit? Does it make the shortlist? Yeah, I'm afraid so. It's okay. This is what we've been planning for.
Knowing our clients personally is why Edward Jones is the big company that doesn't act that way.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way.
Nice.
Now get 10 to 25% off select major appliances, $396 and more.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, Charlie Strong in Texas, a big upset over 10th-ranked Oklahoma. Plus, Northwestern Michigan, a top 20 showdown in the Big Ten, and a Heisman candidate is injured. Joe and Brady, let's go back to you.
All right, Kevin, we'll stick around for that. 27-7 in this one. Arizona's in front of Oregon State. Arizona trying to rebound from those blowout losses to UCLA and then Stanford. Oregon State in its first Pac-12 road game under Gary Anderson. Dockery has it fly through the back of the end zone. And Oregon State will start at the 25. Quite a turn of events over the last few minutes.
Yeah, 3 big plays. Seth Collins locks in on Jordan Villeman, allowing Will Parks to come up with a big hit. Well, that puts Oregon State in 3rd and 20. What do you call 3rd and 20? A screen. There's Fotu. If we get a hand up, bat the ball to himself to then set up the Bradford touchdown. Complimentary football. That's exactly what Arizona has really been looking for the past couple weeks. And Jordan Villeman covered. But they're going to be missing him if he's not out there. He's really their best wide receiver.
Collins under pressure will throw it out of bounds. Immediately had 2 Wildcats right on him. But it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Jake Matthews, number 47, and number 32, DeAndre Miller. Something else again that the Arizona defense hasn't been able to get a ton of is pressure. With all the injuries they've sustained, guys like Scooby Wright and Cody Ippolito, a lot of those guys not only play inside linebacker, but they also then come up as a rush end position on 3rd down and pass rush situations.
2nd and 10. Bars Woods led the way for Collins, but too much penetration from the Arizona defensive line. And Paul McGlure was in there as well, having a good game in his first game at linebacker.
One of the struggles Arizona had versus Stanford was setting an edge. And number 14, Paul McGlure, right there, was able to take down Storms Bars Woods and set the edge and not allow Collins to get outside. Now he's down. He looks like he's in a lot of pain.
Well, there have been some thunderous hits today involving Collins. This one, at least on first watch, appeared harmless.
Bars Woods leads, tried to chop down McGlure. Able to hold up Collins just enough, and as he was going down to the ground, it looked like he was already in pain. When he cuts here, this little jump, looks like it might have been the way he landed as he kind of cuts to the left and then plants with his left leg.
From that angle, it didn't look nearly as harmless as the first couple looks.
Talked about Seth Collins and what he had to battle through to become the starting quarterback. 7th string starting this past spring, was able to fight through so many layers of that quarterback competition to be the guy this season.
And he limps his way off under his own power. The guy behind him now is a redshirt freshman and Marcus McMarion, who is only 2 for 7 in his career for 17 yards and an interception. Not a fun spot to enter into, 3rd and 11. And they'll let McMarion throw it. Lofting one down the sideline. Guyton can't pull it in, but a flag flies in. And likely will extend the drive. Jarvis McCall had the coverage. Let's see what the call is.
Gutsy call, by the way.
Yeah.
First snap, throw it deep. Taking a shot. Gotta love that.
There is no foul for pass interference. The action was ruled legal. 4th down.
Check out number 9, Datron Guyton, matched up on number 29, Jarvis McCall. McCall's with him step for step down the way. And why is it not pass interference? Because McCall's able to look back to find the football. Yeah, there was a little pushing and shoving a bit, but whenever a defender looks back to make a play on the football, the officials are not going to call that pass interference. Credit Jarvis McCall.
Grebsky with a rugby-style kick. And a fair catch taken at the 34 by Nate Phillips. Chris Budden, is it hot down there?
Oh, just a little bit, Joe. In fact, the heat already starting to get to players on both sides. You can tell they're winded. Some of them already starting to cramp. In fact, funny story, the very first thing you see when you leave the opposing team locker room is this sign in big bold letters, extreme heat warning. It has the temperature on there, and then it says that it gets to as hot as 121 degrees on the field. When UCLA was here just the other day, they thought they were trying to get psyched out, so they covered it up. They didn't want to see that when they left the locker room.
Yeah, apparently didn't impact them much as they rolled Arizona. 89 degrees it says right now, but down on that turf, obviously much warmer. On first down, here's a nice cutback from Nick Wilson. Keeps on going for 8 yards. Joshua James with the tackle.
And what you're seeing a little bit from the Oregon State defense is some missed tackles. Before, Justin Strong trying to come in to make a play as we watch Seth Collins walk off the field.
Wilson hit in the backfield and dropped short of the line of scrimmage this time. Caleb Solo.
Yeah. And really, Caleb Solo and number 8, Rambo Manguayo, have been the bright spots for this Oregon State defense, making a ton of tackles at the linebacker position.
Wilson straight ahead, got enough, it looks like, for the first down. 3 consecutive carries. Solo with another tackle, but it's an Arizona first down. They've got almost perfect balance so far. 17 runs, 16 passes, something they didn't have when Solomon wasn't there.
Yeah, with Gerard Rando, he's not quite the refined passer like Anu Solomon is. He's got a really strong arm, but he's not quite as accurate and can't read defenses quite as well as Solomon.
Wilson for 4 or 5.
If you'll notice, both teams are really trying to run at angles more at the tackle position on their offensive lines. Really trying to utilize these edges of the defense that both teams struggled against versus Stanford.
That one barely made its way to the outside into the arms of Jones. Flag comes in.
This might be offensive pass interference on number 6, Nate Phillips. Might have been blocking before this ball was able to leave Anu Solomon's hand.
There is no foul on the play. 3rd down.
All right. I bet that's what it would have been, though.
Possibly. Right. Picking up a lot of laundry in the field today.
So 3rd down and 1 at the Oregon State 45. Arizona has responded in a hurry after Oregon State had cut it to 13-7 on the first drive of the second quarter. Trying to add on to this 3-score lead now. Wilson has a first down. Unalu made the tackle, but he was able to fight forward for 2 and convert another 3rd and short. He needs a break. Tapped out. Boys, what he had his shoulder looked at, he had his ankle wrap. It's 100 degrees down there.
They're used to this heat, though.
Orlando Bradford back into the game. First career touchdown last time he touched it. It's a guy that they're excited about.
Rightfully so. Does a good job following his blockers. Last play following number 17 tight end Josh Kern up the hole. Understands the offense and the scheme that's involved and does a good job with ball security.
Solomon to throw, looking outside. Pretty strong throw, but off target. Was intended for Shun Brown. Coverage from DeCoud. Third down.
Up 27-7. You see Arizona starting to work in more true freshmen. Number 16, Shun Brown. The last ball is going to number 21, Orlando Bradford at running back. Games when you get ahead of this is the time to get these guys experience.
Oregon State brings 4 against an empty set. And Johnny Jackson has a first down. Waited right at the sticks and pulled it in for his second grab of the day. It's the 4th third down conversion of this drive.
Oregon State trying to play man-to-man defense on that last snap. Just gave Johnny Jackson too much cushion. He had too much room to work with.
Solomon will heave that one out of bounds. And it's second down.
Number 30 was the receiver in the area. Second down.
It's almost still in the tackle box. So it could have been intentional grounding had there not been an eligible wide receiver in the area.
Off of the hands of Jackson. Coverage from Strong, and it's 3rd and 10.
This particular down and distance, one of the biggest keys is just getting a positive play. Even if you don't get the first down, help your field goal kicker out. Trying to get a little bit closer.
Skowron's career long is 49, and that is exactly what it'd be from right here. Pressure picked up. Solomon drills one. And the spot gives him enough. David Richards for another Arizona third down conversion.
David Richards at the top of the screens. Going to run a route right about at the sticks. Does a nice job of coming back to the football to be able to get his arms underneath and secure the catch for the first down.
Great timing on it. Despite Solomon missing the last game and a half with the concussion. Throwing for $190 in this first half. He'll add to it. Caleb Jones makes it 1st and goal. This offense really clicking right now.
So tough to defend. You've got a run play called with a guy in the slot who can possibly catch a screen. Then you've got another wide receiver releasing on a slant downfield. So many options. It's like playing basketball, trying to stop a fast break.
Bradford into a crowd. And pulled back by Kalani Vakame-Lalo.
Talking with head coach Rich Rodriguez this week, he talked about Anu Solomon's ability to play fast and see defenses fast, and that's what he attributed to almost being like a point guard running a fast break and the way you have to distribute the football in this offense.
Bradford again, powering his way in. No signal yet. Looks like he powered his way in. He did. His second touchdown of this quarter.
This is exactly how you run the power running game in a spread offense. You bring in that diamond formation in the backfield. You just use some of your direct runs. You stay behind your center and 2 offensive guards, and Cayman Bundage, Jacob Alsadek, Zach Hemela.
Low snap was picked off of the ground and put down by the punter Drew Riggleman. Skowron knocks it through. 34-7 Arizona, recovering in a big way from those back-to-back losses. First time they'd lost back-to-back games in 2 seasons.
Wendy's asked this pitmaster to share his secret barbecue sauce recipe. He did not. But he did give us this.
Your sauce should be a little smoky, a little spicy, and a little sweet.
Got it. So come try our smoky, spicy, or sweet barbecue sauce, served on top of hickory-smoked pulled pork with crunchy slaw on a toasted brioche bun, or over natural-cut pulled pork cheese fries. Wendy's, a barbecue tradition since 2015.
Those wigs cannot possibly be comfortable today.
You bet they'd be itchy, as hot as it is outside.
You got plastic gloves on, too. Looks miserable. Having fun, though.
Zona Zoo, they call it.
Yeah. Ramel Dockery will have a chance at this one. Arizona's coverage team has been a strength so far today. Dockery up to the 23. As Arizona defense comes back out, here's our Lincoln stat comparison. They were solid the first 3 games against lesser competition. Really struggled in their first 2 Pac-12 games. Got to feel good about what they've done today.
Yeah, they should. I mean, and again, you talk about their game versus UCLA and Stanford. Those 2 teams ran the ball very effectively against them on first and second down, which made that third down percentage so much easier. And then scoring touchdowns in the red zone. You got to be able to run the football. And that's what Arizona could not stop against UCLA or Stanford.
So Jeff Castile there, who's with Rich Rod at West Virginia as well. Marcus McMarion zips it to the outside for Xavier Hawkins. Paul McGlure makes the tackle. Again, McMarion in the game with Seth Collins leaving with an injury last possession.
The number 16 overall dual threat quarterback coming out of high school. Doing a nice job of distributing the football so far. Has been pretty accurate with a deep ball earlier that was dropped by Guyton, and now a spot on throw to the outside.
They look to throw it again. And boy, put Clute in an exposed spot there. It's third down.
Arizona defense making a major substitution there on the defensive front. Trying to get some fresh bodies to rush after the passer. In particular, number 8, Reggie Gilbert's been pretty effective so far this year. Getting good push in the pocket. At the top of your screen.
Drills one to Guyton right at the sticks. Did he hang on? Looks like he did. And a first down, Oregon State. McMarion coming out firing.
Yeah, great catch, too, by Guyton to be able to come flatter than the defender in that case. Number 3, Cam Denson, tried to make a play on the football, but Guyton ran a good route. And again, got his body in between the defender and the football.
It's Nall into the teeth of the defense. Biggest role we've seen Nall play at running back. We've seen hardly any Storm Barswoods or Chris Brown.
I think that part of that is because they'd like to try to possess the football a bit more. Ryan Nall is more of the downhill back. He's just going to get north and south and try to get those 3, 4, 5-yard gains. I'd like to try to slow down the Arizona offense. How do you do that? Keep them off the field. Possess the football.
That's the 6th carry for Nall. 2 combined for Barswoods and Brown. McMarion sailing one. Looks like Guyton's a favorite target of his. They've targeted him, I think, on 3 of his 4 throws. Third down.
Well, with number 13, Jordan Villeman out. Number 9, Datron Guyton comes in now as the favorite in that position in this spread offense. Usually try to isolate him on the backside of these 3-by-1 formations and see if they can get him in one-on-one coverage. See up at the top of your screen.
Cam Denson in coverage on him on third down. Arizona brings 5. McMarion gets sacked back at the 30. Jake Matthews, the former walk-on, right here in Tucson. Iron Ridge High School picks up his first sack.
Yeah, and really credit the Arizona defensive secondary.
Arizona, first charge of the half, 30 seconds in length.
No one was open in the back end. Jake Matthews was able to get there in time. Bolden's route, a lot of juking and jiving, but not enough time. Cam Denson in phase on Guyton. Not much of a window there. Here's what happens. Your quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Jake Matthews, Paul McGlure collapsing the pocket on him. That's what you'd like to see out of your defense. Full team effort.
We finish this half up. It's the State Farm halftime. So McMarion is in for Collins, the starting quarterback. Jordan Villeman, their leading receiver, is out, with the redshirt freshman Datron Guyton getting moved into the more featured role. And down 34-7 late in this first half. Perebski punts it. And a fair catch taken by Samaje Grant. So Arizona will have it in a moment, but first, time for a game break with Jenny Taft.
Joe, thanks. Number 7 LSU hosting South Carolina, and it was only a matter of time before Heisman hopeful Leonard Fournette would do what he does best. 87-yard touchdown run puts him over 1,000 for the season. And remember, this game was moved to Baton Rouge after heavy flooding this week in South Carolina. The Tigers now up 24-10 in the third quarter. Joe Brady, back to you.
The South Carolina really stacked the box in the first half of that game, not allowing Leonard Fournette to really take off and ascend, but so far the second half, Leonard Fournette having his way. Brandon Harris, a quarterback, having a good game as well.
Jenny mentioned that game moved to Baton Rouge, but they're treating it like a home game for South Carolina. So they played Enter Sandman when South Carolina took the field. They had, all the stuff you normally have in the press box in South Carolina in the LSU press box.
You're going to transport all the fans too to make it feel like a home game. How does that work?
I'm sure the LSU faithful made sure that didn't happen. Free home game for people that love their football there in Baton Rouge. Joshua James makes the stop on Jared Baker. Third down. Minute 20 left in this first half.
And that's where Joshua James has been effective for this Oregon State defense. An effort, running down plays from the backside, trying to get tackles for loss in the backfield.
So flag down in front of this 3rd and 5 play, and it's a false start.
Talked about it coming into the game. Oregon State defense so good. Really 3rd and 3 plus. So far today, struggling versus Arizona.
False start. Offense number 77. This foul occurred under 1 minute. Oregon State has declined the 10-second runoff. The clock will start on the snap. 3rd down.
And so they want to have a chance to maybe put something on the board here before halftime if they can.
But they're not afraid to throw with McMarion.
Right.
We've seen that already in the game.
You mentioned Arizona on 3rd down. 8 of 11 against the number 1 3rd down defense in the Pac-12 this year in Oregon State. On 3rd and 10, they only bring 3. And that's thrown too high for a wide open David Richards, beating Treston Decoud. Could have run for days, said he put it on him.
You talked about their effectiveness on 3rd down. What about in the passing game in particular? The Oregon State defense was only allowing 153 yards coming into this game. Arizona already has 208 yards passing. A little bit of that's because Stanford and ran
who you're playing.
Yeah, ran very well against them, but still.
Only the 2nd Arizona punt today. And Riggleman hits a line drive that bounces by Dockery. And him letting that ball go cost him about 15-20 yards. Back inside the 20. Back to the field comes Marcus McMarion. Coming into the spring, you mentioned it earlier, Seth Collins was the 7th man on the depth chart, enrolling early. Won his way to the top of the depth chart, but injured in this first half and replaced by McMarion.
Look at that name, Nick Mitchell. It's the brother of center Josh Mitchell. Mitchell's still on the team, but sometimes that can be a little bit awkward You've got a true freshman who comes in and takes over the job, and now you've got your center who you got to play with.
Yeah.
It's the brother of the guy's job you just took, or at least competed with for the job.
The staff applauded Josh Mitchell for the way that he's handled that. They're snapping it to a guy that beat out your brother, put him without a job, and it's a true freshman that's taken the job your brother wanted. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Marion in rhythm to the outside for Hunter Jarman. Out of bounds to stop the clock with 37 seconds left. 2 timeouts for Oregon State. Seeing what they can scrap together here before the break. Rolled through the legs of McMarion. Trying to make something happen, and we'll heave it out of bounds over Guyton's head. 3rd down.
Number 9 was the receiver in the area.
Smart play by McMarion just to get rid of the football. One of the hardest things to catch is the low snap. I just feel like the high snaps you could usually get a hand on and try to bat it to yourself. It's the low ones where you got to get all the way down there to get it, especially when you're 6 feet plus like McMarion is.
So on 3rd and 3 with half a minute left in this first half. Storm bars Woods, hits the hole, and gets a first down. Popped at the 32 by Cam Denson. Timeout Oregon State.
Second charge timeout Oregon State. 30 seconds in length.
We'll take the timeout with them. Be back in just a second.
The Ego Power Plus blower, inspired by advanced jet turbine technology. It's the first cordless blower to exceed the performance of gas. Powered by the industry's first and most advanced 56-volt lithium-ion battery with patented arc lithium technology. It can run for up to an hour and charges in minutes. Get the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. The Ego Power Plus blower and the Power Plus lineup, available at the Home Depot.
FS1 college football is presented by Geico. Final seconds of this first half. Oregon State using its second timeout with the ball at its own 32.
Oregon State will get the ball coming out of halftime, so you'd like to try to get some points on the board here, whether that's a field goal or touchdown.
Without their starting quarterback Seth Collins, left with an apparent leg injury, without their top receiver Jordan Villeman, who took a monstrous hit from Will Parks earlier in this game.
Quarterback was outside the pocket. 2nd down.
Steven Strimling being very thorough and getting us our explanations on these throwaways.
Yeah, sometimes
every one of them
pretty evident, but
I guess it beats the alternative of wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
Running out of time now in this half. Only 16 ticks left, and on 2nd down and 10, McMarion looks to throw and drills Bolden over the middle. Victor Bolden takes it to the 44. 7 seconds, maybe time for one play to give yourself a shot at a field goal.
It'd have to be a quick
play. Final timeout Oregon State. 30 seconds in length.
And good patience by McMarion to wait for Victor Bolden to get open. Working versus a 2-deep zone, meaning you got 2 guys for the deep half. He's able to find that soft spot in the middle of that 2-deep zone. 7 seconds left and no timeouts. You can possibly take a quick shot to one of the sidelines. But in warm-ups today, kicker Garrett Owens was actually kicking this direction of the field, and he hit one from 60, which obviously this would be a bit longer than that. The wind was aiding that kick a bit. It wasn't a pass rush, but be curious to see if they would give him an opportunity to try one.
Career long is 46 in a game. From the 44, let's see what they try to do here.
I'd love them to try to utilize an out route or something at the top of the screen. It's an easy pitch and catch.
Second charge timeout Arizona. 30 seconds in length.
Well, coming up next, North America's greatest soccer rivalry is renewed. The United States men's national team takes on Mexico in a high-stakes match with a berth in the Confederations Cup on the line. Live coverage from the Rose Bowl begins after our game here on FS1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Be a heck of an atmosphere in Pasadena tonight.
Defensive coordinator Jeff Castile wanted a timeout, I think because he saw the offense come out and it didn't look like Oregon State was going to try a field goal, or it doesn't look like they're attempt to kick, obviously with 7 seconds left. So he wants to inform his defense of what may take place. Again, with this bunch formation at the top of the screen, don't be surprised if they don't throw something here to the sidelines.
No, they're going to go for it all here. Stepped into one as he got drilled. And incomplete. Clock runs out, bringing this first half to a close.
That's the end of the first half.
Arizona defense so far today just laying it on the Oregon State quarterbacks. Tellis Jones.
Let's go down to Chris Budden.
Well, Coach, with the new Solomon back, how much has that changed what you're able to call offensively and maybe be able to take more shots down the field?
Well, we're trying to go the high tempo and keep things spread out a little bit. And we've been executing okay, but they're still off at times, and we got to execute a little bit better. There's a few mistakes in the half we got to get corrected.
In terms of execution with your defense, with Seth Collins out of the game right now, how does that change what you guys have planned?
I don't think much. They're going to do the same things. Obviously, they're throwing with Marcus, and we got to play hard. That's a good football team, a lot of talented athletes. We got to keep executing the second half.
Appreciate it. Good luck.
FS1 College Football is presented by Geico on a hot Saturday afternoon back in Tucson, Arizona. The Wildcats are cruising 34-7, trying to snap this 2-game skid. We welcome you back inside with Brady Quinn, Joe Davis. We started this one by talking about a couple of young quarterbacks. Let's get back to that story. What did you think of the first 30 minutes of those two guys?
Well, obviously Seth Collins is the leading rusher for Oregon State, but he got knocked out of the game, and now he can't have quite the same effect for the Oregon State offense. See a little bit of his explosiveness running the football, getting Oregon State's only score. But on this play, injures himself. He's been out of the game. Number 13, Jordan Villeman, their best wide receiver, he's out as well. And it's really allowed then Anu Solomon to capitalize. The great footwork in the pocket, finding receivers downfield. You see just the uptick in this offense with Anu Solomon behind them. Much more balanced attack, so efficient in the passing game, and still yet to throw an interception.
First half stats, Arizona outgaining them 385 to 163. Oregon State has it to begin the second half, and a flag comes in as Ramel Dockery takes it across the 20.
During the return, personal foul, face mask. Return team number 18. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
That's great news. Seth Collins is coming into the game with the Oregon State offense.
18 also.
Let's check in with Chris Budden.
I talked to Gary Anderson. It looks like some good news for Oregon State. He said Seth Collins and Jordan Villeman will be back for the second half. You can see Seth Collins already out there. Both quarterbacks were taking some snaps during warm-ups, but Seth Collins out there right now. So some good news for the Beavers.
Yeah, big news for the team that comes into the second half down 34-7. They only average 23 points per game. They're going to need an outburst in the second half to come from behind. But how do you start chipping away?
Well, the biggest thing is you'd like to have somewhat of a running game, but the Arizona defense there was stout up front. And you've got to ask for big plays of your wide receivers, in particular number 13, Jordan Villeman. Whenever you're playing in conference play, Joe, you got to be able to play tough. You know they're going to be physical battles. These are guys you see year in and year out. For this young Oregon State team, they're going to have to fight their way through.
First time these teams have met in a few years, but over the last 20 years or so, it's been all Beavers, winning 12 of the last 14 in this series. As Victor Bolden collides on the sideline with Jarvis McCall. They got 6, and it's third down. First half leaders for Oregon State. Seth Collins didn't do much through the air. Ryan Nall we saw a lot of in that first half.
Yeah, Ryan Nall, the bigger running back for Oregon State. Better possessing the football and getting downhill in the running game. I think Oregon State wanted to mimic some of what Stanford did a week ago versus this Arizona defense.
Collins, 41 yards on the ground, was the leading rusher in that first half for Oregon State. Throws the slant for Jarman and a first down up to the 24.
One thing you'll see throughout the course of the game is the Oregon State offense likes to utilize the boundary, meaning the short side of the field. So Seth Collins is going to work to that outside wide receiver in that matchup anytime he gets one-on-one coverage.
From the 24, they'll throw it on first down, or at least a pass play called. Back shoulder for Jarman and broken up by Jarvis McCall. And it's 2nd and 10.
Nice play by Jarvis McCall to be able to adjust and come back to the football and get a hand in on it. Not allowing Harmon to bring in the catch, but number 4, Seth Collins, seems to be moving around pretty well for what looked to be a gruesome injury in the first half.
Yeah, we looked at that at halftime again, and both of us kind of winced. It didn't look good. Great to see him back out there. Begin this second half. Storm Bars Woods has a big hole over the right side and pinballs his way to the 30 for a gain of 6, where it'll be 3rd down and 4 after Jamar Allah makes the tackle.
And number 50, Josh Mitchell, the center, and the right guard, number 56, Isaac Seumalo. A nice job creating a hole there in the right side of that Arizona defense in the inside.
It's an offensive line that brought back 5 players with starting experience from last season, but an entirely new system this year under Dave Baldwin. On 3rd down and 4, Collins steps into the pocket and throws high for Villeman. I saw you pointing. You saw somebody wide open.
Yeah, it looked as if he might have had a chance to go to Victor Bolden. One thing I'd like to see, too, from the Oregon State offense is more vertical routes upfield. Villeman, Bolden, both these guys have tremendous speed. And the Arizona defense is starting to kind of sit on the sticks and sit on some of the shorter routes. Got to start trying to stretch the field and take some shots, especially being down 34-7.
Another punt for Perebski. Phillips and Grant back to return this. Rugby style from the Australian. Former rugby player. Across his body. That thing went from outside of the right hash all the way to the left sideline.
You put 2 guys back there just to try to field the punt, but the cross kick, neither could do anything.
Adu Solomon, first game back from concussion. Some really sharp moments in that first half. He'll be back to the field for his first possession of the second after this.
Living in the moment. It's not an easy thing to do these days. We're all so connected, except to the things we should be. Life's too big to be held captive like this. Can an SUV be your escape vehicle? You have no idea. Introducing Hyundai's family of SUVs, the all-new Tucson and the Santa Fe, the official pace cars of living.
More data means more freedom to do whatever. That's why AT&T is giving you 50% more data. That's 15 gigs of data for the price of 10. Because the more data you have, the better. And right now, at AT&T, get $300 credit for every line you switch when you trade in a smartphone and buy any smartphone on AT&T Next.
The Ego Power Plus blower, inspired by advanced jet turbine technology. It's the first cordless blower to exceed the performance of gas. Powered by the industry's first and most advanced 56-volt lithium-ion battery with patented arc lithium technology. It can run for up to an hour and charges in minutes. Get the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. The Ego Power Plus blower and the Power Plus lineup, available at the Home Depot.
you're the band Europe, you love a final countdown. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
385 yards of offense in that first half for Arizona. And Anu Solomon in his first game back from concussion was pretty sharp.
Very sharp coming off a concussion where you think you might be a little bit foggy or slow. But again, 163 attempts now without an interception. That was 5th coming into the game. We'll see where that ranks as today's games ensue. But that's what it takes to be a good quarterback in college football, a good decision maker, in particular in the spread offense.
His last interception was in the 3rd quarter of the bowl game loss to Boise State and was a pick 6. Look out here, Jared Baker making men miss. And an impressive run of 18 to begin the second half for Arizona.
We'll watch number 8, Rommel Manguayo. He's got a clear shot to make the tackle, misses. And that's kind of been the story of this Oregon State defense. They've been in position to make plays, but have not been able to make the tackles.
Talk about being a point guard and distributing. That's what he does there. Whips it outside, and Samaje Grant untouched for the first 20 yards.
The Arizona offense is running at a really fast pace, and the Oregon State defense didn't have time to get lined up. They were a man short outside. Anu Solomon saw it and distributed the football to Grant, who in space is one of the toughest guys in the country to bring down.
They bunch 3 receivers into the short side and go right there. It's Grant again, tiptoeing the sideline. They say that he stepped out back at the 24, but not before. 19 yards and another Arizona first down.
What makes these screens effective is when you have guys to block. Watch the blocking of the Arizona wide receivers versus Samaje Grant. Cut him down, push him back. That's all he needs is a seam. And he's quick enough and elusive enough to get up the field.
High snap. And flashbacks to the UCLA game and before. But they had big-time issues during the first half of that UCLA game with Cayman Bundage's snaps. They lose, what, 18 here?
Yeah, and this is really one of the biggest issues with this offense is some of the negative plays created by some of the missed snaps. That UCLA game was close, if not for a couple different snaps that went awry.
Johnny Jackson open in the flats to get a chunk back. And I think you mentioned it earlier. Even if you pull the snap in, if the snap's not there, it throws off the timing of the play.
Yeah, that's right. It really throws off a lot of the timing in the passing game. And it's already a bit hindered because you're in the shotgun as well. So you really have to have an accurate snap that allows you to get your hand on the football and throw an on-time ball. Otherwise, you got to move on in your progression.
First year Bundage has played center. He's a converted guard. Senior out of Oklahoma City. 3rd down, 13. Solomon drills one, first down. That's Nate Phillips for 17 yards. They spot him inside the 10, and we'll call it 1st and goal.
And number 6, Nate Phillips in the slot is so tough to defend. He's a smaller guy, only standing 5'7", 180 pounds, and he's incredibly quick and shifty in his routes.
A lot of good weapons at receiver for Solomon. Been a little bit banged up across the board at receiver early on this year. Baker to the 5. 2nd and goal.
I think if you wanted to build a spread offense, you would want exactly what Arizona has. Those smaller, shifty slot guys and those bigger bodied wide receivers on the outside like Caleb Jones and Dave Richards.
Baker downhill. He's, by the way, over 100 yards on 6 carries today. He's now carried it 8 times for 109.
Well, that big run earlier in the game for 73 yards was going to help out that average a bit, but he's got that burst that Rich Rod was talking about. Thought he was the fastest of the running backs he has in the backfield.
Senior from Los Angeles, Loyola. Here's Solomon with some room. Back across his body and too high. I think he wanted a converted linebacker, Jamardre Cobb, now playing fullback, but sailed it, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, they run a bootleg to get Anu Solomon out on the outside. Looked like he had an opportunity to run, but Cobb was able to get off the block and get open. Solomon just couldn't put quite enough touch on the football. to allow Cobb to get a hand on it.
You know, Cobb's touched it one time in his career, and it was a touchdown catch. It was almost 2 for 2. Touchdown receptions, 2 touches. Field goal added on by Skowron. They get a field goal out of this opening drive of the second half.
I believe in Oregon State. I believe in her traditions. A heritage from the deeds and dreams of yesterday. I believe in her sportsmanship and honor, a reality with the students of today. I believe in her aspirations and her ideals, the assurance of a magnificent tomorrow.
I have no technical background, I have no design background, and I was able actually to design a product that had that luxury feel and that didn't break the bank. So when anyone talks to me, hand them my Vistaprint business card, that business card, when I make a connection with someone, has to be phenomenal. It has to be elegant and invoke all the things that Diamond stands for.
A great business card should be simple to create. With Vistaprint, it is. Try 500 business cards starting at just $9.99. Enter promo code TV500 at Vistaprint.com.
I began my racing career in my home country of Australia. I was having a great deal of success there, but I knew deep down that I had to come to America and challenge myself against the very best. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. But I'm here, I'm winning races, and I believe that's how you become the best.
Introducing BetAmerica.com, your new home for legal online wagering. It's time to play the BetAmerica way.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-830-1404. Again, that's 1-800-830-1404.
Heisman contender Trevon Boykin leads the charge against the Wildcats. Touchdown! TCU, K-State, tonight at 7 on Fox.
Back in Tucson on a hot Saturday afternoon. Temperature in the low 90s today. First day game they've played this season. Not quite late enough into the fall where it's totally bearable this time of day. Arizona gets a field goal on its first possession of this second half after Oregon State had to punt on its opening possession. But the good news is Seth Collins came back in the game. So did Jordan Villeman. They'll try to get things going for this offense. Mel Dockery not had any room against this Arizona coverage team so far today, and that trend continues. Tripped off to the 15-yard line. Gary Anderson in his first season at Oregon State inherits a roster. It is extremely young. We talked about the true freshman Seth Collins. He's one of 52 freshmen on this roster.
Yeah, and I think coming into this season, no one really expected a ton out of Oregon State. They were picked to be last in the Pac-12 because of the youth and because of the change that Gary Anderson's trying to make as far as on offense, running a spread scheme versus the pro style they ran a year ago. And then on defense, trying to switch to a 3-4. You got to adapt, get the personnel, and teach the techniques.
Storm Bars Woods behind Ryan Nall. So they're using Nall in a bit of a fullback role here. And Bars Woods with the longest running play of the day for Oregon State, 20 yards.
And this is where Arizona's had issues on the edge of their defense. Nall's going to come and block on the edge and allow Bars Woods to get outside. Breaks an arm tackle from McGlory, and then it's Tellis Jones who finally pushes him out. That's where the weakness of this 3-3-5 defense is out the side on the edges. Stanford and UCLA exposed it.
Jet sweep. And Will Parks was there to knock down Paul Lucas. Parks with his 5th tackle.
And Parks is one of those keys in a 3-3-5 defense that helping to set an edge, helping to not allow the running backs to be able to get outside. He's the guy that has to come from the outside and turn that ball back inside to where there's help.
2nd and 7, couple of tight ends in the game, and they'll run it with those 2 tight ends in there, helping pave the way for Bars Woods. He gets 4. Luca Bruno with the tackle, and it's 3rd down. Storm Bars Woods. You may remember him as Storm Woods from last year. Added Bars in to honor his mother. He raised him in a single-parent household. Said he's a mama's boy. Did it to honor her. And here he is trying to get the corner but can't. Tellis Jones flew up from his safety spot to ensure that.
Huge play by Tellis Jones. He plays that bandit position for this Arizona defense in the 3-3-5. And he's the other key. You got your spur and your bandit. Those are the guys who need to come down and help set the edge and not allow the ball carriers to get outside. Tellis Jones struggled a bit in the past weeks, but so far today has been outstanding.
This is the 7th Oregon State punt. Stanford only punted twice against Arizona last week. 55-17 blowout. Here's a fake. Gary Anderson said they wanted to be more aggressive on special teams. And Vanderveen, the converted quarterback, threw a nice spiral, but incomplete, and Arizona takes over.
And that's tough. That's a play that really could help change the momentum, but unfortunately they couldn't convert, couldn't make it happen.
Just out of the reach of Kendall Hill, the corner.
This is perfect, celebrating our anniversary with a strawberry shortcake shake.
Yeah, I got the strawberry shortcake cone. Wait, what anniversary?
Of coming here yesterday?
Our one-day anniversary.
You totally forgot.
No, no, I didn't forget.
Gosh, so you didn't get me anything.
I did. No, I remembered, and I got you this.
Oh, man, what is it?
Go ahead, open it up.
Is it a watch?
No, it's not a watch.
Oh, man, you know I needed a watch.
Have your cake and drink it too. New ice cream cake, shakes, and cones. And don't forget half-price slushes every day at happy hour. This is how you Sonic.
Correct, I have a life mate. Is that consequential?
With whom are you communicating?
Jake from Planet State Farm.
Jake from Planet State Farm at 0300 hours. State your identity.
It is Jake from Planet State Farm, home of Discount Double Check.
Describe your apparel, Jake from Planet State Farm.
Khakis.
Khakis. Explain.
A dull earthly garment covering male extremities.
Sounds most appropriate.
Save mass quantities, even at 0300 hours. Get to a better state.
Hold the phone, because AT&T and DirecTV are now one, which means you can access your DVR at the DMV. Change channels while he changes pants. You don't have to be a couch potato. You can be a train potato and let them watch all the shows they love inside the ride that you really kind of hate. Introducing the all-in-one plan, only from DirecTV and AT&T.
A little mystery can go a long way. I suggest you have it lead back to your place. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you get 3 Falcon, Cooper, or Hankook tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get no interest and paid in full within 6 months on your Pep Boys credit card. Trust the boys to get you there.
See so many teams now running some version of the zone read. A lot of teams getting into the spread. Rich Rodriguez might not like to take credit, but a lot of the history of that zone read out of the spread goes back to him at Glenville State.
Yeah, he was utilizing some of the run and shoot concepts, passing the football, and then as far as running the football, he said, hey, why not give it a try? He was a young head coach at the time, started implementing out of the shotgun some of those zone reads where the quarterback reads the end.
Yeah, that's exactly what you see here. Solomon gives it, and Orlando Bradford takes it for a few yards. He said that he wanted, they didn't have much there at Glenville State. What they got outscored like 300-20 the year before he took over. So he said, get me some athletes and some guys that can get run over slowly on the offensive line, and we'll see what we can do about it.
And he's had athletic quarterbacks in the past as he's gone from West Virginia with guys like Pat White or Michigan with Denard Robinson.
Solomon fakes and throws down the sideline and incomplete. DeCoud in coverage on Caleb Jones.
He's kind of molded his offense to whatever quarterback he has back behind center. In the case of Pat White and a guy like Denard Robinson, they're much better runners, almost like a Gerard Randall. So they ran more of that zone read scheme, and they kept the ball a little bit more. But with the guy like Solomon, utilize his pass skills, his ability to run every once in a while, but really more run those same concepts he ran when he first started running the run and shoot.
On third down, good balance from Bradford to get close to the first down marker. Sumner Houston made the tackle, and they spot him right at the 35. They need just beyond it. The offense staying out there for fourth down and a foot. Bradford had his helmet ripped off. Either way, it's a flag. He did. Cleanly ripped off his head by Titus Failanga.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 4, 15-yard penalty. By rule, number 21 does not have to leave the game. The result of the penalty is first down.
It was actually Justin Strong that pulled it off.
Yeah, number 4, Justin Strong's going to come in here at the end, get a hand on Bradford's face mask. So much so it turns Bradford all the way around. He's lucky his head didn't go there with him.
Our spotter, Paul Davis, who's a mile in the air up here, had that right. It was Failanga. They had a great view down in the field. They couldn't get it. First down from the 20. And a big hole for Baker. As he always does, hits it hard, first and goal.
You can see why they're so high on number 23, Jared Baker. As the hole starts to present itself, watch the explosion he gets through the line of scrimmage. He puts his foot in the ground and he goes. Fifth-year senior at La Jolla High School in Los Angeles. Had a nice day.
Arizona offense nearing 500 yards on the day. Go back to Bradford, who has his eyes on a third touchdown. Second and goal. Going back to Rich Rod in his early days at Glenville State, he said his first year there, 1 year after they had gotten outscored 320 or whatever it was, first play of the season, they completed a 9-yard curl, and he got a standing ovation. He said, "I'm never leaving here."
And he said it was kind of the flexibility that he had at Glenville State to really try some things out and evolve the zone read running plays. Took that to Tulane with him as well. Quarterback Sean King was very effective.
Bradford navigates his way in for another touchdown. Third of the day for the true freshman.
We talked about this diamond formation they like to use in the backfield with 3 guys accompanying Solomon. And it's really just a way of running a power running scheme out of the shotgun. You don't necessarily know which direction they're going to go.
Part of that evolution you're talking about. Rich Rod and his offense. Bradford in for his third score of the day. It's all Arizona, 44-7. FS1 College Football is presented by Geico, and it's back after this.
This is not an end game. It is the first step to a new century of Pac-12 predominance. Because when the North meets South at Silicon Valley's remarkable Levi Stadium, there's more than school pride at stake. It's raising the trophy in front of the nation on our 100th birthday. The Pac-12 Football Championship Game, Saturday, December 5th, 2015. Experience the rush of Pac-12 football. Get your tickets now at pac-12.com/tickets.
Rangers are in a great spot. This is where it gets fun.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I have NFL Sunday Ticket. Make sure you've got it too. Wait till you see this weekend's schedule.
Tom Brady and the Patriots face Jason Witten and the Cowboys. Russell Wilson leads the Seahawks against A.J. Green and the Bengals. And Peyton Manning and the Broncos take on Amari Cooper and the Raiders. Redskins at Falcons, Saints at Eagles, Rams at Packers. You get every game.
Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and get NFL Sunday Ticket to watch every game live every Sunday.
Where are all the country girls?
They're at farmersonly.com.
use my new steel building as a workshop and a garage, and I love it.
And now you can get the steel building you've always wanted and save big. For a limited time, Future Steel, the world's leader in steel buildings, is selling off selected models at rock-bottom prices. Save $400, $900, $1,600, up to $2,000 on selected models during this limited time inventory sell-off. Simply call the number on your screen or visit us online for a free brochure and list of sell-off buildings. Call right now.
Braving the heat today. One of the only spots of the stadium with shade on it right now. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team with Boys and Girls Clubs of America, supporting their mission in helping young people to reach their full potential through programs that promote character and leadership, education, healthy lifestyles, and more. For more information, visit foxsportsupports.com. Low 90s when this game started. I'm just guessing because it feels decent in here, but I'm guessing it's down into the 80s at this point. A little muggy up here, though, too.
Poor Chris Budden down there on the sideline.
Yeah, she's rolling her eyes. We talk about how muggy it's gotten in our booth. Dockery tripped up crossing the 20. Checking with Jenny Taft for a game break.
Joe, thanks. Number 19, Georgia visiting Tennessee. After giving up 4 straight touchdowns, Georgia finally answers back with this. Grayson Lambert finds Reggie Davis 48 yards for the touchdown. We're tied up at 31 in the fourth quarter. Joe Brady, back to you guys.
Quarterback Grayson Lambert for Georgia really trying to bounce back after a very defeating loss to Alabama last week at home. Bulldogs lost running back Nick Chubb earlier in the game. Sony Michel's done a nice job taking over. 137 yards in that game.
Here's Chris Brown into the game at running back for the first time. Missed the Stanford game with an injury. Collins being chased by Miller and pulled down after 6. 2nd and 4.
Yeah, Brown really provided a bit of a burst early on in the game at Michigan up in Ann Arbor. He's got some speed out of the backfield, and Oregon State drove right down the field in the first drive. And it looked like then the Beavers were going to make it a tough game for Michigan, but it was really all Michigan there in the second half pulling away.
It's been all Michigan pretty much since that opener against Utah. There's Nall. Boy, look at that power. He runs like a guy who is, natural on the backfield, not a converted tight end.
He's got good vision, runs north and south, no wasted motion or wasted steps. Sometimes the way a slower running back makes up for the lack of speed is his ability to not waste any time or hesitate hitting the hole. Nall is very decisive in his style of running.
A couple of tight ends in there with a fresh set of downs for Oregon State. Collins pumps, lofts one deep, one-on-one for Bolden, who can't run under it. And so instead of going towards his 6'5" target Villeman on one side of the field, he goes for 5'9" Bolden.
Yeah, Jordan Villeman was the bottom of the screen, running a little slant and go. He's going to come up here and make a nice move. Oof. Yeah, just a missed opportunity. Seth Collins looked the other way, but had Jordan Villeman wide open for a big play. When an offensive coordinator calls a double move like that, usually you want to stick on it for a little bit. He's calling it for a reason. He sees something out there.
Especially when it's your top receiver, guy who stands 6'5", big size advantage. Collins 3 or 4, and it's 3rd down.
On the flip side, we talked to Rich Rodriguez this week and asked how much Anu Solomon has progressed and if he makes some different checks and so forth. What was his line, Joe?
He said, well, we give him some freedom, but my mortgage is too big to put too much on an 18 or 19-year-old kid.
I imagine the same goes for Seth Collins, who's a true freshman with offensive coordinator Dave Baldwin.
3rd down and 7. Only bring 3. Still able to move him off his spot. Here's some of that athleticism, but here's some of that youth. And it's 4th down.
Seth Collins buying time, but none of the wide receivers downfield for Oregon State ran the proper way in the scramble drill. He was moving to his right, but all the wide receivers kind of stopped and didn't really move around. Didn't help him by running towards the side of the field Collins was scrambling to.
Runs a great scramble drill. Watching this a few nights ago, the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
How many plays do they convert with Russell Wilson extending and having guys break open?
They practice that.
Yeah.
It's a big part of their practice in Seattle.
Fair catch taken back inside the 15. Now this Arizona team dealing with so many injuries, particularly at the linebacker level, and a key player in Scooby Wright. Chris Button's got more on him.
Well, I don't know if you would recognize him, Joe, but that's him with the shaved head and the shades on. Coach Rodriguez telling us, well, he shaved it because he wants to be an all-new Scooby. He said he's progressing well. He is wearing a boot right now, but Coach said he is able to go through the week without the boot on. He's feeling better. He's able to do some workouts. They hope he's back in a few weeks. They said it would help if their bye week wasn't on the very last week of the season. That would actually buy them another week before he could get back. But he's doing well, and a whole new look to a new Scooby.
How about that, though? 12 straight weeks without a bye for Arizona?
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's so hard, too, when you're a team that's had a ton of injuries. It's hard to get healthy.
Flag down as Bradford takes it on first down.
Holding, offense number 61. Half the distance from the previous spot. First down.
They sure could use a little time to get healthy, especially at linebacker. They've had 8 different players start a game at linebacker. Cody Ippolito, who can play several different spots, would have come in really handy with the other injuries done for the year. Scooby's been dealing with 2 different injuries. First the knee, tried to come back, then the foot. Hayden Gregory, DeAndre Miller have both missed time. And Derek Turi, who you like a lot as well, out a couple of games as well.
Yeah, incredibly tough, in part because of their versatility. When teams try to go to 3 and 4 wide receiver sets, some of those guys become rushers. And now you can't get quite as an effective of a pass rush because those guys aren't healthy, and younger guys who don't really know what they're doing are in the game.
Bradford again. After the penalty. Second down. Inside of 2 minutes in this third quarter. And there's Derek Turi right there. This Arizona team love to get healthy. They're going into a part of their schedule that is, and when you look at the rest of the schedule, the relatively easy part, though next week going into Boulder is not going to be an easy game with a Colorado team that's getting better and better. And Mike McIntyre. Bradford gets 10. Stop made by the secondary, and it'll be 3rd and short.
A tough place to go play up in Boulder elevation. Tough to run a fast-paced offense when your guys are trying to catch their breath.
Most we've seen Orlando Bradford used this year. True freshman out of Shreveport, Louisiana. 3 touchdowns today for a guy who himself was coming off an injury. Dealt with a concussion early this year.
Calvers Baptist Academy. Powerhouse down there in Shreveport.
Tim again had a seam and then got pulled down by Kyle Haley. Looks like enough for another first down.
A lot of good football players down there in Shreveport and Baton Rouge and other parts of Louisiana. Probably per capita maybe the most talented state as far as recruiting goes in the country.
You know, it's a part of the country that produced the great Tim Brando too.
Timmy B, the tapper.
Inside a half minute left in this third quarter. Arizona really having its way offensively today. 523 yards of offense to Oregon State's 228.
Give some credit to the offensive line. The big guys up front, starting with Kamen Bundage, Jacob Alsadek, Zach Himela.
Third quarter comes to a close. Arizona dominating this one 44-7, trying to beat Oregon State in Tucson for the first time since '97.
Tonight on Fox, the electrifying offense of second-ranked TCU is the most feared in all the land. Heisman contender Trevon Boykin leads the charge against the Wildcats. Touchdown! TCU, K-State, tonight at 7 on Fox. Telecast sponsored by Geico.
The moment's arrived. The best iPhone ever is here. And you're all like... And then you remember there's Verizon, which is great because if you're going to get the best iPhone, wouldn't you want to have the best network? Kind of makes you want to jump for joy. Tell all your friends and family. even throw a party. Get up to $400 when you switch to Verizon and trade up to the iPhone 6s. And now you can upgrade to a new iPhone every year without the wait, so you'll always have the best iPhone on the best network.
Are you okay, Mom?
Yes, I am.
You can never go too far for the ones you love. Help them go further with the protection of life insurance from New York Life. Get started today.
Living in the moment. It's not an easy thing to do these days. We're all so connected, except to the things we should be. Life's too big to be held captive like this. Can an SUV be your escape vehicle? You have no idea. Introducing Hyundai's family of SUVs, the all-new Tucson and the Santa Fe, the official pace cars of living.
I went to class 2 minutes late.
Order Panera's new roasted turkey cranberry flatbread online with rapid pickup. Then eat it, however you like. Panera, food as it should be.
What's that horrible sound? They're booing, dude. They hate you. I guess that girl actually put her top back on. Loosen. Look at that. They love me. Rock and roll! Wait. It's your turn, bro.
32 for teen.
PlayStation.
FS1 College Football is presented by Geico. And back in Tucson, ready for the fourth quarter. Arizona dominating Oregon State 44-7, trying to move to 4-2 on the season. Yeah, get their first Pac-12 win after blowout losses to UCLA and then Stanford. High expectations for this Arizona team after winning the South last year. The first 10-win season since 1998. Manasseh Hunalu with a tackle on Orlando Bradford. And it'll be third down and 3 or 4.
Hungalu does a really good job running down from the backside. He plays that outside linebacker position. His read runner gives a lot of effort and does a tremendous job of finding ways to make plays and help stop the bleeding at times on defense for Oregon State.
Sophomore from Hawaii. Didn't see any time, didn't see the field once in his first 2 seasons on campus, a redshirt year. And then a redshirt freshman year last year where he didn't play a single down. And he's a starter this year for Gary Anderson's team. 4th down and 2 as they stop Orlando Bradford.
Defensive coordinator Kalani Sitake called him a stud linebacker. Chasing down the football and mentioned some of his skills. He moves really well. He was a former basketball player in high school. Still trying to mold into that inside-outside linebacker guy. They've got a lot of versatile guys like that on their defense for Oregon State.
Ergelman with a short punt. But it takes a good bounce for him inside the 10-yard line. Rolls to a stop at the 7. It's a 50-yarder for Ergelman. And Oregon State back on offense trying to work on some things. Down a bunch. Old Main here at Arizona. What a fun time. Wildcat fans today.
Hey, what are you doing? I got 17 months until I can upgrade to the new iPhone 6s. I'm building a time machine so I don't have to wait.
Oh, with Sprint, I never have to wait. I get to upgrade to the newest iPhone right away, whenever it comes out.
Seriously?
Seriously.
I've got to switch to Sprint.
What's that?
My lunch. It's just leftovers from tomorrow night.
The world's best offer on iPhone 6s. Get iPhone 6s as low as $1 a month when you trade in your iPhone 6. And with iPhone Forever, get a new iPhone every year, forever.
Go, 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 go!
You're there every step of the way.
Go, 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 go!
Help them go further with the protection of life insurance from New York Life. Get started today.
Introducing the take-home box. A whole nother meal, just $1.99. Have your fill at the Endless Buffet, then fill up your take-home box for just $1.99 more. Golden Corral, the best buffet in the USA.
What are you doing?
Psyching myself up to shave.
Oh, how long have you had that thing?
Long time.
Don't let an old razor creep around because new ones are so expensive.
Shave with a fresh blade, anytime. Try DollarShaveClub.com.
What could be more rewarding than working on your car? Actually getting credit for it. With AutoZone Rewards, spend $20 5 times and get a $20 reward. It's called The Zone, and we'll help get you there. Sign up in-store or online. Alicia was on a mission to energize her car. AutoZone matched her with a tough Duralast battery. And Alicia felt more energized. It's called The Zone, and we'll help get you there.
Nothing artificial. Just real roasted turkey, carved thick. That's the right way to make a good turkey sandwich. The right way to eat it is however you eat it. Panera, food as it should be.
FS1 College Football is presented by Geico. See some things out of the succulent family of slants.
Sometimes called fat plants for the moisture that they hold inside.
You get aloe out of succulent plants. Not sure any of those had aloe in them, but yeah, here we are in Tucson, early fourth quarter, talking about succulents. A 44-7 game. Oregon State back on offense. Seth Collins, you may be tuning in and out, went out with an injury in the second quarter and has come back as that one was telegraphed, and Will Parks stepped in front of it, almost got a pick six.
Yeah, if there's one thing that Seth Collins is going to see himself do and will look to progress on the rest of the season, is just be able to hold his eyes downfield a bit longer and not looking to his first read quite so quick. Allows the defense a lot of times to get a jump or a read on the football. Will Parks then, veteran guy, reading his eyes, getting a hand on the football.
Low snap on second down. Here's Storm, bars Woods for first down to the 20.
A little misdirection there out of what they called a pistol, with the running back standing back behind Seth Collins, and Nall led the way, but Bars Woods able to get to the edge outside and pick up about 10 or 12 yards.
Told the story by adding bars to his name to honor his mom. His mom initially was hesitant to let him play football when he was a kid. He was a baseball and a basketball player. So to test out his durability, she put him in full pads and tackled him head on in the front yard. Apparently he handled it okay, because here he is. Ball's thrown out of bounds, second down.
My mom would try to do the same thing when I was young. And then as I got older, she stopped trying to tackle me and just threw shoes at me whenever she was mad.
Yeah.
Got to be careful for those stilettos.
Yeah, they'll get you.
Old Robin Quinn, man, she would come with it pretty hard.
Bringing the pain.
Bringing heat. That's where I got my throwing ability from, was my mom after getting hit with some of those shoes.
Yeah, your ability to escape pressure, step around shoes. Collins hurdling his way to the 25, or it'll be 3rd and 5.
Well, he's fun to watch once he gets north and south and hits the hole. Very explosive. Getting up gingerly right now is same leg that seemed to be injured earlier in the game, but obviously Collins toughing it out, coming back, and that's going to go a long way with his teammates and a lot of the older guys, seeing a true freshman toughing it out. For the one-on-one matchup down low.
Where they're looking, but instead it's Bars Woods, who is covered well by Tellis Jones and pushed out of bounds after a short gain. So 4th down for Oregon State. Here comes the punt team.
I'd like to see Oregon State run a route that was far enough downfield for the first down. Remind them, see them take some shots too at some point, give Jordan Villeman another chance. Was open earlier with the double move. Haven't really come back to it. Sometimes when you see that happens, coaches like to put that in their back pocket, come back to it later in the game.
Instead of the cross body kick this time, well, it is still more of a cross body kick, not as violent of one. Sails over the head of Samaje Grant down at the 16 and a 57-yarder. All Arizona in this one, 44-7. Rolling their way to their first Pac-12 win of the season. Back in a moment to Tucson.
Get the right price right now on the seasonal items you need with new trophy deals only at Bass Pro Shops. And check out clearance savings on Nitro Performance fishing boats and Tracker aluminum fishing boats, featuring some of the best factory warranties in the business. So come get your trophy deals only at Bass Pro Shops.
At Ferguson, nobody expects more from us than we do. And that goes for our celebrity spokesperson as well. So we need to make sure that Terry had the skills to make our team. Bradshaw, you're off the bench and in the game. Okay. We're counting on you. Now, he fumbled a little bit at first.
That's not quite what I'm looking for.
Why are you looking at that?
What?
Bradshaw! 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 Now I think he deserves to wear this uniform.
Thanks for calling Ferguson.
For plumbing, waterworks, HVAC, MRO, and more pro contractors, choose Ferguson.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you get 3 Falcon, Cooper, or Hankook tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get no interest and paid in full within 6 months on your Pep Boys credit card. Trust the boys to get you there.
Is it our insightful strategies that make Edward Jones one of the country's biggest financial services firms? Or 13,000 financial advisors who say thank you? It's why Edward Jones is the big company that doesn't act that way.
Look at you.
Oh, look at him.
One look can change the way you see the world.
Look at you.
Look after them with the protection of life insurance from New York Life. Get started today.
A little mystery can go a long way. I suggest you have it lead back to your place. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Black Angus beef and bacon.
So tense.
Fire roasted peppers and onions.
It's mixed. Let's settle this.
Should we tell him it's both? Eventually.
Introducing the Tex-Mex Bacon Thick Burger. Only at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
Here are your Pac-12 standings. Look at the north there. Stanford and Cal right at the top, setting up a potential big game. How about in the south?
Well, you got Utah and Cal playing tonight. So that's a big one. In the south, kind of like the SEC West of last year. Kind of imploding. Everyone beating each other up right now. It's kind of the SEC West last year. So we'll see how things trying to figure themselves out. Utah, but with a big game tonight versus Cal to help determine whether or not they're for real. Michigan with a big win kind of makes that first game of the season at Utah look like even a better win.
Gerard Randall is into the game, been dealing with a hamstring injury. Runs for 8 yards with a pair of gloves on. He doesn't care that he's a quarterback.
He's been dealing with a hamstring injury, but the guy's ripped off runs of 57, 72, 73, and 36 yards. Those were his first 4 running attempts this season.
Not too bad.
No, I can't imagine what he'd be running like if he had a healthy hamstring.
Started last week. The loss against Stanford. It was his first career start. Rushing average 13 yards per carry. Hands this one off. Jared Baker moves the chains.
The thing about Jared Randall is he's got to find another throw besides just that fastball. He gets in there and, man, he's got a strong arm and can sling it around the field, but he's got to be able to utilize some touch. Take a play out of Anu Solomon's game.
It's on the touchdowns, the 4 touchdowns averaging 60 yards apiece. Redshirt senior from Hollywood, Florida, who initially had committed to Oregon. Wound up not happening. Went to LSU, spent some time there, transferred to a junior college before coming here to Arizona.
He actually ranked higher in college than Johnny Manziel and Marcus Mariota.
In high school.
In high school,
yeah.
Incredible to see how that kind of works out as quarterbacks kind of find their way in their different paths.
On 2nd down and 8, Randall with a blocker in front. You see some of the explosiveness out to midfield on an 18-yard run.
Well, this is where Gerard Randall excels. Quarterback lead, and then look at the speed upfield. A long strider, but look at the spin move. Call it R7 or something in PlayStation or anything. I don't play video games. I have no idea. But
I think there's only 2 R buttons.
There's still
the
2 R.
One. R2.
R2, there you go.
I think it's, I don't know.
He's got those explosive moves and tough to bring down in the open field.
I hear his vision cone is tiny, though. Not a great passer. No. Doesn't register with you the old Madden game with the And we talked a little bit about his journey from Hollywood, Florida. He had verbally committed to Oregon before that fell through. And he went to LSU, spent 2 years there, transferred to Northeast Mississippi Community College, and then to Arizona prior to last year. When his commitment to Oregon fell through, that left the Ducks with only one recruit at quarterback position in that class, and it was a 2-star quarterback out of Hawaii named Marcus Mariota.
Can you imagine that? And Gerard Randall in an Oregon system would be interesting to see. You see Anu Solomon with a pretty efficient day. Good job distributing the football. Really, a lot of his deeper passes and scrambles, he was able to find receivers downfield, led to rushing touchdowns.
With the running game today, a tick short of 300. And over 300.
You know, we talked a little bit about head coach Rich Rodriguez and him kind of bringing out of the shotgun that zone read scheme along with the run and shoot. And once he had brought it kind of along from Tulane, ended up getting the head coaching job in West Virginia. It was BYU wanted to bring him in. Kind of say, hey, show us kind of what you're doing, and we'll share some of our no huddle spread stuff that we're doing with Lavelle Edwards and the likes. So Rich Rod really credited with a lot of the zone read scheme and bringing that to be more mainstream. You see it all across the country today. He also talks about that's why he's been credited with having such a good record versus Oregon. He's told his team, hey man, we're the ones that have actually started that and we're running it, so we better be able to defend it.
Timeout, Arizona. First of the second half. This
Talk
is
a little more about
timeout.
that on the other side of a quick break.
These wings are pretty great, huh?
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, it's a wing ring.
What's a wing ring?
I ask it what kind of wings I should have, and it tells me. Today it said honey barbecue.
I want to ask it a question.
Oh, you know what? I got like 2% battery on this thing.
Come on, let me just...
Yeah, I wish I could.
Your battery in a ring?
Yeah, it's like 8 gigs.
That's two different things. One is memory and one's battery life.
Cool. All I know is like, no, you can't use it.
Good luck choosing 100% all-white meat boneless chicken wings in 6 delicious flavors. They're buy one, get one free every Monday night. This is how you Sonic.
USA, Mexico. It's more than a game, with a place in the FIFA Confederations Cup on the line.
The tight collar just became history. Introducing the Flex Collar, the world's first collar that expands up to ½ inch. Expandable collar comfort, only from Van Heusen.
The players, cheerleaders, the hootin' and hollerin', foot stomping, fans rocking. Every team has a tradition that inspires superior performance, and for the last 60 years, we're proud to be the one they all have in common.
Last 4 digits, 4098. 8.
You should use Grubhub instead. Just order your food online and I'll never get your credit card information wrong.
Thanks.
You have a lovely home.
Get the food you want from the restaurants you love. Grubhub, delivering your favorites.
Are you one of over 26 million Americans with a tax problem? Are you being audited, or do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Well, listen closely, because the IRS has recently announced major changes to its tax forgiveness program. That's right. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes and are looking for a permanent solution and a firm you can trust, call Coast One Financial Group right now for your free confidential consultation. What are you waiting for?
Call 800-334-1197. That's 800-334-1197.
The ALDS returns to FS1 tomorrow with Game 3 between the Blue Jays and Rangers. Toronto's got to win to stay alive after dropping both games in Toronto. Texas heads home with a chance to complete the sweep. Coverage starts 7:30 Eastern, only on FS1. It's been a similar story in the Major League Baseball playoffs that it's been to Pac-12 football so far this year. Road teams with an inordinate amount of success. This will only be the third win for a home team in a Pac-12 game this year.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And We'll see if Martin Perez for the Rangers can outduel Marco Estrada for the Blue Jays. An ALDS game, but kind of surprising that road teams would have such an impact and be so effective in the Pac-12 so far this year.
Only 2 wins coming into today for home teams. Cal barely against Washington State, and Stanford a little more than barely against Arizona last week. Jonathan Hayden into the game at running back for the 21st consecutive run play for the Wildcats. This one's a gain of 5.
Nice cut by Hayden to get back into the hole. Wasn't there on the front side. Nice jump cut to the back side to get through and get a solid 5-6 yard gain. Arizona really needed a win like this. From talking with the coaching staff, you kind of felt like they were pretty down, not having that bye week to regroup. They needed a big performance from really their offense and defense to start feeling positive again about what they're trying to build after all the expectations before this season.
Randall keeps it and pays the price. At a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd down and short. We're talking a little bit about the rest of the way for Arizona. They go to Boulder next week as part of this 12 straight weeks with a game.
Yeah, and that open date for their bye, well, that's going to be November 28th. Not there.
Yeah.
So you never would like to have this be the case, but unfortunately it's the hand that Arizona's been dealt. Rich Rod and his crew are trying to deal with those best they can. The key really is just to try to stay healthy. And unfortunately, that has not been to the liking of Arizona. They just have not been able to remain healthy at the linebacker position.
Murderers row down the stretch for Arizona. You saw there they'll go at USC, Utah, at Arizona State. It's a tough way to finish. Looking forward to going up to Boulder, though.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Rich Rodriguez isn't very happy there. You got to love the fact that it's 44-7. He's still coaching hard. He's not letting up. Anu Solomon talked about it being uncomfortable to play for Rich Rodriguez. During practice during the week, they play babies crying and dogs barking, all kinds of stuff. He said freshmen get here and they just look around like, what is this?
Yeah. Us talking, you and I, right? They play us over the speakers. Oh, my God. Said he wants his guys being comfortable being uncomfortable. So the games are easy. There are not many guys whose personality just sitting down and chatting with are as polar opposite as what they turn into on game day than Rich Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's such a pleasure to sit down and talk to. So open and honest. Talked about the 24-hour rule they have at Arizona. If they win, they can only enjoy it for 24 hours. If they lose, they can only sulk in it for 24. He said sometimes after a loss like Stanford's, you wish you could only sulk in it for 12 hours. He talked about the schedule. Sometimes when they're playing those Pac-12 games at night, they don't get back till 4 a.m. Sunday morning. It's tough for them the following day to really break down the film and practice.
Brendel trying to get it on 4th and 7, and he's close. Looks like they've got him spotted a little bit short.
Boy, his cutting ability is just unbelievable. And he gets back and forth. Very effective.
He is just short, so Oregon State will take over with 4:27 left in this one. Back in a moment.
Tonight on Fox, the electrifying offense of second-ranked TCU is the most feared in all the land. Heisman contender Trevon Boykin leads the charge against the Wildcats. TCU, K-State, tonight at 7 on Fox. Telecast sponsored by Geico.
130 yards now. Bill's got a very tough lie here. Looks like we have some sort of sea monster in the water hazard here. I believe that's a kraken, Bruce. It looks like he's going to go with the 9-iron. That may not be enough club. Well, he's definitely going to lose a stroke on this hole.
If you're a golf commentator, you whisper. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
This golf course is electric.
Living in the moment. It's not an easy thing to do these days. We're all so connected, except to the things we should be. Life's too big to be held captive like this. Can an SUV be your escape vehicle? You have no idea. Introducing Hyundai's family of SUVs, the all-new Tucson and the Santa Fe, the official pace cars of living.
The Pac-12 Conference has for a century united the West through academic and athletic excellence. For the next 100 years, the Pac-12 will continue to champion meaningful change, reinforcing our commitment to academics, redefining the student-athlete's experience, and using technology to reimagine fan engagement. This is our legacy, but also our blueprint for the future. A conference of champions born 100 years ago, the year the West was won.
I'm blowing everything up. We're starting over. I'm doing a new show. I want guys who push it to the middle of the table and go over the top. Conflict works. Allow it.
Kevin Word, our associate producer, doing great work all day, showing us this, the three-headed running attack for Arizona. Baker over 100 yards in a hurry. It was all Wilson early, but Bradford has gotten a big load today as well.
A three-headed monster, the way they all kind of bring their different attributes to the Arizona rushing attack.
Collins pumped short and threw it long, too far out in front of Datron Guyton. And it's 2nd down and 10 for this Oregon State team that from here goes at Washington State, then hosts Colorado before playing 3 consecutive ranked teams, and then the 2 teams they finish with that aren't ranked. Not easy.
Yeah, no, Washington with a big win over USC this week, and Oregon playing in Eugene end of the season is never an easy way to go, but this is a team with a lot of youth. We talked about 52 freshmen on the team right now. They're really looking at building upon some of the things that Gary Anderson has brought to Oregon State this year. When you look at their offense, they really only lose their center, Josh Mitchell, and tight end Kellen Kloop. Beyond that, they got everyone coming back. Excuse me, Storm Woods as well, but then guy in Chris Brown and Ryan Nall running back and help come back. Beltran Sands, who's redshirting this year, and Seth Collins in particular. A lot of upside to this young man.
Sure is good that he's back out there after what looked like could have been a bad injury during the first half. Escapes pressure, throws on the move over the head of Hunter Jarman, and it's 4th down. Time for another game break. Ginny Tech.
Well, Joe, Oregon State's former head coach Mike Riley now coaching at Nebraska. They've lost 3 games in the closing seconds this season, and now 4 after Wisconsin's Rafael Gaglianone hits the 46-yard field goal for the win. Mike Riley and the Huskers fall to 2-4 on the season. Wisconsin wins 23-21.
Ugh, heartbreaking. Mike Riley once again. Saw the look on his face. Says it all. I mean, you're 4 plays away from being 6-0.
Yeah. It's crazy sometimes the small instances which can change your record, change a season for a team, and that's just the game of football.
Yeah. How about within each game, the plays that can turn things? Here's our Dr. Pepper one-of-a-kind play of the game. Bam. Will Parks landed on Jordan Villeman. 1 play later, interception and a screen. Then they scored a touchdown to go up 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was only a 2-score game at that time. Seth Collins locks in on Jordan Villeman. Will Parks sees it, makes the big hit, puts him in 3rd and 20. And you run a screen that gets picked off and sets up another score. Cause and effect.
Hayden with a 1st down run. 16 yards into Oregon State territory. I think we've talked a lot about Rich Rod and the offense being impressive today, but an encouraging sign, regardless of who you're facing in Oregon State's offense, but encouraging things for the Arizona defense today, coming off 2 games where they gave up more than 50.
Yeah, and the 3-3-5 really got a lot of flack. And going up against Stanford, which runs an incredibly different offense. They don't run the spread. They like to pound the football and pound the rock. A 3-3-5 is essentially a nickel. You got more DBs on the field, and it's not built to stop the run. So it doesn't really fit versus Stanford, but versus a team like Oregon State, that's where it can really be effective.
Brandon Dawkins, by the way, is in the game at quarterback now, replacing Gerard Randall. as we wind down near 2.5 minutes here in Tucson.
Feels funny him just standing out there waiting and shotgun for the snap, trying to run the clock down.
He's laughing about something. He pulls it off of the replay and shows good speed himself. Athlete after athlete after athlete on this Arizona team.
He was laughing about what he was about to do. Whether or not there was a give read, he was going to keep that football. You're third string and you don't get many opportunities to get in the game, man. Take every chance you have to try to flash and make something happen. Show the coaching staff what you're able to do, if not for some point this year, sometime in the future.
Saw that graphic a second ago, and we finish Mexico and the United States. Big soccer match at the Rose Bowl. Hayden straight ahead.
And defensive coordinator Kalani Sitake talked about coming from being a defensive coordinator at Utah, where you had those bigger bodies on the defensive line that could really two-gap and help stop a lot of the offensive line from being able to get push and help free up those linebackers. But you don't have the same type of player at Oregon State because they're making this transition in scheme. It's going to take some time for them to recruit guys and teach them the technique that Sitake wants them to play with. Doesn't happen overnight.
Growing pains ubiquitous in this one for Oregon State. 647 yards of offense for Arizona, 371 on the ground. This time he kept it and went back. Producer of today's game is Eric Billigmeyer. Director is Jeremy Green. Brian Biederman, the associate director. Broadcast associate Kevin Word. Mike Mez, our computer statistician. Barry Allen, our statistician here in the booth. Paul Davis, our spotter. Don Esposito leads the technical team. Special thanks today to our tape department, Eric Faulkner, Mike Zissis. Inside a half minute now as Arizona's going to get out of this one with a win, their first Pac-12 win.
24-hour rule in effect for Rich Rodriguez and his staff. What Rich Rod's going to do here on family weekend in Tucson.
Finishes the game with 29 consecutive runs. And runs the clock out on a 44-7 win where things got back on track for the Wildcats today. And Rich Rodriguez got his 150th career win, his 30th here at Arizona. And we will be right back here to Tucson to wrap things up on an Arizona convincing victory over Oregon State.